We're live. It's BRAP. We're back. We got Mooch. Who's yelling? Let's start the show.
Not yet, but we will be. Trust me.
Oh,
What's
we will
going on,
be.
BRAP?
Same old, man. Just excited for tomorrow, but let's officially kick off the show though right now. All right. Everyone hear the live chat? You guys must be really excited for our returning guest here, the Mooch, because I've seen people say, Mooch, I'm a big fan of your show. Is Mooch here? Yes.
Where's that Mooch guy?
Yeah, where's that Mooch guy? Mooch is here.
Great.
Our returning guest. But yeah, it's great. It's great to have you back, man.
It's good to be back. I'll be honest with you, BRAP. This is awesome, man. I always catch BRAP, and me and BRAP are just having a discussion before the show. BRAP's show starts at 9 o'clock. So it's not at 9 o'clock. I'm either usually just getting a chance to get a little bit of gaming in by 9 o'clock on a weekday, right, BRAP? Or, you got to get up early. Sometimes 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. You're almost calling it a night. It depends. On the weekend, I'm up till like 2 in the morning. But I mean, Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesdays are a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wednesdays.
Great chat. Great chat here tonight.
Oh, yeah. We have great chat. Give a big shout out to everyone that live chat, by the way. Hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe to the show. Hit the bell notification so that you're alerted when we go live. And by the way, I see some buddies of mine here, T-Rock 40 and Dark Optimus, who I've actually had the pleasure of playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends with the last couple nights, and learned a lot about Optimus and his work and his mom. And so
that's always nice.
Yes, it is. Optimus is a family man, and I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely.
But we got my man Gaming Forte here. Forte, what's going on, man?
Forte.
What up, though? How you guys doing today?
What's up, Forte?
Oh, man, good. Just tired, but good.
Yeah, you're
the sentiment of tonight's show.
Yeah, you're lacking like that energy that Forte that you usually have, dude. I can tell you're a little tired. Your body's weary.
My body's weary. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I appreciate you using that word on me, because it probably is at this point. It's been a long week, but and I'm out of the loop, so there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. Davey Jaffe out here talking, and PlayStation event tomorrow. Shout out to everybody that's going to be excited tomorrow. I'm glad that everybody's gonna have to talk about for the blue side. That's always going to be a good time. So let me amp it up for y'all a little bit, man. I'll bring back Forte for this episode.
Nice.
And Friday's episode too.
Yes,
I got to make sure that I'm there for March too.
Thank you.
That's only if I can actually get a word in on that show.
I know. Listen, Forte, this I have a dedicated section for you. That's all I'm going to say.
I was quiet.
Man, you said that too. You said that a week ago.
I got to be honest with you, Forte. That was not me. If you go back and watch last week's show, I didn't even really get a chance to talk.
Man, that man said, man, he literally said, I got this. I got a particular thing I need to ask Forte.
It was a relative question to sales and what was going on at GameStop, and I got nothing. I got nothing.
We didn't even get there, bro.
I got nothing.
Oh, it's good, though.
Hijack Mooch.
You got it, yeah.
I did. I tried to hijack a few times. Those conversations were on fire last week. I just sat back and grabbed some food.
I did too, actually. It was actually really great. Great crossfire.
Kind of went down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we got my man Eric Jackson. EJ, are you ready for tomorrow? Are you excited?
I am excited. I'm excited. I'm always excited about games.
But you're not tempering your expectations, though?
But Forte, I'll say it like this, man. I kind of go into these things with the mentality of, even if it's poor or pathetic, typically I'll always find something in these shows that I like.
Yeah.
So I kind of walk away with it like that. So, but I don't go into it like with, like it's gonna be fireworks in the WCW and the WWE and boom, 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 right? Because then sometimes even if it delivers, it can't stay to your expectation of it.
Right, and that's how I look at it. As long as they don't put an orchestra out there and play a flute, I'm good.
No, they should bring Flute Guy back, man.
No.
You just want to see the backlash.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Mooch, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Just that'd be ballsy. Like, here's Flute Guy.
Some people just want to see the world burn.
He just wants to see the carousel people in a digital way now.
Right. So I say that, Forte, to say, like, hype is there. You can always be hype.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But don't oversell yourself.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, bro.
Yeah.
That's a great point. We got my man B Money. B, what's up, man? Great to see
Going
you back,
on,
sir.
fellas?
B. One day, baby. One day. You got two good things.
B.
You got two gifts coming out tomorrow, bro. Two of them.
Oh man, I got a couple gifts, man. I'm super excited about just
Let me
tomorrow.
tell
These next upcoming days, man.
How
There's so many
yeah.
games.
Are you on the 2K negativity train?
Yeah, no. I mean, he even if he's on the 2K negativity train, he gonna be still playing the game tomorrow night.
Because I'm seeing people feeling like it's getting like the whole my team and my court and all this stuff is getting a little too out of hand.
Oh man, it's been getting out of hand. That ain't
I
nothing
mean,
new.
I think just because there's a difference between the games, you know what I mean? Because there's technically two different versions of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And a lot of content creators that are involved with 2K, a lot of them have decided to stay on the last gen version of the game, and others have crossed over to the next gen version and are cool with playing that version of the game, and other people kind of despise it. So there's a big rift in between the community in regards to just the two versions of the game and how they play. And I mean, anytime there's a learning curve in a game that you've been playing for over 20 years, I mean, of course you kind of want to fight against that a little bit. So a lot of people are still rocking.
That learning curve left me a long time ago, bro.
You want to know something, B? Now that you said that, our one of our favorite YouTubers, Agent 00, did a video probably a couple days ago where he played all the 2Ks all the way back to 2K1 and talked about the differences in how the gameplay changed across all the generations and stuff. And I was wondering, like, what made him do? I said, this is a really good video. What made him do this video? Now hearing you say that, because I'm not as plugged into the 2K community as you are, hearing you say that, that's probably why he made that video. It's like, yo, listen, 2K has been changing every 5 or 6 years, and it's been completely different every time a new generation comes up. And this isn't nothing new, but it is kind of crazy because I think it's more pronounced because this is like the first year that I kind of play both versions of the game, and there is a distinct difference in how they play. So I can see the people that are kind of up in our, especially when the YouTubers are sticking with the older version and they want to kind of get, understanding of the new version for the people they kind of follow. And they're like, yo, why y'all want to play that trash version of the game? And I'm like, yo, are you being mad because you can't find a next gen console? Maybe that's probably the one. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, this is to your.
I was gonna say, I need a damn tutor to play 2K.
We got B Money, man.
I know. That's
B
why
Money.
I just need to know B Money. How much tomorrow, man? How much? What's the number?
Man.
What's the number?
I bought the $100 version.
That ain't enough. That ain't enough.
I have $200 in VC already.
God.
Oh,
So
You don't mess around, yo.
Let's
you know what I
go.
mean? Once I actually, start the game and see, what's all involved, because they changed the whole way that the My Career set up. It's not a traditional My Career. So once I see how that is all broken down, they're doing seasons this year where you can get up to level 40 every time, or you can maximize your character to level 40 every season, and then if you do that, then your character becomes legend once all the seasons are complete. So it just depends on, what that all entails, how much VC I'll continue to spend. So
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, what's interesting too?
What's that?
It's how many people lining up like B, because like B understands the value of entertainment, right?
Mhm.
And you pay for the things that you love and the things that you will find enjoyment in. He's gonna clock mad hours in that, so not even blinking an eye doing what he's got to do, right?
Mhm.
So how many of these community frauds out here talking about $10 upgrades, lining up about
Oh,
to buy all that VC?
wow.
There's no upgrade path on 2K, so they about to pay
Wow.
the boat, man. right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There's no hand holding.
Right.
This next gen for 2K.
But probably out there on the timeline screaming the loudest, "This is bullshit."
How come we don't see a lot of conversation around that then? With that particular game.
Oh, because I know a lot of these cats got pre-orders in for Battlefield. They got pre-orders in for Call of Duty. They paid the $10 to get that little watercolor update on Tony Hawk.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, he came in here ready.
Yes, he did. Mooch, you might be kicking your feet up on this show, man.
That's fine. I'm enjoying E's spicy takes. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, look, like you might be onto something here, man. I mean,
Listen, I'll tell you, just from afar, sitting back, B enjoys what he enjoys, and I've spent similar kind of money. You guys know I really like Warzone, and BRAP, you know this, all the different packs I've bought and this and that on Warzone.
Yeah,
like I've definitely spent more than the $65 or $70 asking price for the regular Call of Duty. So I mean, I get where B's coming from, and he digs it, he likes it, and also, I know we're coming out, or what, I don't know what we're in anymore. I don't know if we're in a holding pattern from the pandemic. I don't know where we are, but the point I'm trying to make here is that we've never had a generation where we've had to put up with this past generation kind of like feeling like that, like weighing it down. It's like, I understand it's hard to get every day on Twitter, though. Every day there's 75,000 new pictures of people being like, look what arrived. It's a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. Everyone's like, I can't get one. Yet I got 75,000 new pictures a day on Twitter of people hugging the box as it comes in the mail. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who to believe anymore. But I don't blame 2K for making the PS5 Xbox Series X versions. And then they actually went out of their way to make a whole other game for people that can't or won't get the next gen upgrade. So I don't understand all the complaining. If you have a PS4 and an Xbox One and you do not want to upgrade, or you can't for some reason, you have a game. If you have a PS5 or a Series X and you want the benefits for why you plunk down the $500 for those consoles, you have a game. So what's the problem? I don't get the problem.
Mooch, it's nothing new. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think that's the actual difference right there. The fact that, 2K actually, did give you two different versions of the game, and those two different versions of the game are vastly different from each other. And I think that's the reason is it right that people don't talk about it enough? I mean, to each his own.
Forte, that's nothing new.
It is nothing new. And that's why
EA, they all did this. How many generations did they continue to support for how many years past like the PS2, PS3, Xbox 360 generations, because those users are still out there. Hell, they were still making Just Dance for the Wii.
I'm gonna tell you when. I'm gonna tell you when these people are gonna get super mad at 2K and super mad at Call of Duty. The day they stop making current gen, and if we're still in this situation where it's hard to find systems, and they say that we're only next gen, that's when you're gonna hear them say, "Oh my God, you're stingy. You're taking stuff away from gamers. You're charging too much for your game, and that's only because it's not available on the previous platform." Once they make that move. And if we're still in a pandemic, which we probably will be, but it really comes down to the saturation of these systems. I don't think that's going to happen, because I think right now they see a golden opportunity due to the fact that these systems are very limited and they can sell on both platforms because the bulk of the people are over there. This might go for the next 2 or 3 years, honestly. But once that decision is made to happen, that's normally when the bulk of the people jump over at one time. And if you don't have a substantial amount of game systems out there for people to buy, you're going to hear a narrative of, 2K, they're greedy. They don't want to make a current gen version of the game because they just want to go next gen so they can charge people more money. No, they just said that the game is probably going to be better for it if we make it next gen only. And unfortunately, we just don't have enough systems out there to compete for everybody to buy. But that will be the narrative when it finally does happen.
Yeah, that's a great point there, Forte.
Can I ask another question? And this isn't like a console war thing. I don't know how to do that. So I'm legit asking. Does smart delivery circumvent any of the 2K Battlefield?
No.
Like stuff?
No,
it does not.
Right. So I mean, you don't pick up like the series. I don't even know the conventions. You don't pick up like the 1S version and get jumped up to the Series S, Series X version if you have smart delivery, right? So again, what are people talking about?
Look,
people,
man,
go ahead.
The only reason I say this, Enrique, is because the third party,
those are the most popular
games.
games.
So exactly, B, and it's the same on both platform. So what are people talking about?
Well, they're using smart delivery. Some people are, well, not some. A lot of people are using smart delivery in the wrong language. Honestly,
Right.
It's like,
and don't get me wrong, smart delivery is great. I like the fact that I just throw it in and set it and forget it. It did its thing, and we're moving.
Well, that's the conversation.
I'm down with that. I'm just asking the question. People seem to be conflating the term.
Well, it's mostly due to the fact, like I said over a year ago, people, I said, listen, y'all have to remember that smart delivery isn't based on every game that comes to Xbox. It's based on every game that Microsoft produces on their system that they said they're going to give you free upgrades to whatever the Xbox Series X version is of that game. They already said that's going to be the staple going forward for them. But when it comes to third party, it all comes down to if third party wants to be a part of that. Like Far Cry has smart delivery. You don't have to do anything. Once you buy that game, Far Cry 6, you can play it on Xbox One and it's going to work on your Xbox Series X. That's a game that decided to do it. And that seems to be something that Ubisoft has done across the board. But when it comes to 2K and comes to EA, they're like, no, you're going to pay extra money because we want you to pay extra money. And that's when smart delivery kind of breaks down for a lot of people.
The smart delivery, I mean, yes, Forte, you kind of nailed that. But also, if you buy the PS4 version of Far Cry 6, you get the PS5 version.
Well, Xbox has a fancy name for it. And
well, they have dual entitlement on PS5, which is not as snazzy. I'll give them that.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah, it's just Xbox coined a phrase that sticks with people, honestly, and that's what it is.
If it's not first party, it just comes down to the publisher.
Yes,
like you just brought up with Ubisoft.
That's right. Exactly.
You know what I mean, like Ubisoft is doing that across the board. It's not just a Microsoft thing. So it comes down to the publisher. If the publisher wants to give you a free upgrade, then fine. But if the publisher says no, you're going to have to pay us extra bread because we put in extra work to give you something special on this console.
Yep.
And guess what?
You got
to fork up the bread.
If you want to play,
that's a great point. I mean, like I talked about this on Sunday, or actually Monday, B-Money, when you joined me with the BRAP rant. Like, people
great show, by the way.
Thank you, man. Like, people were like, like basically like, oh, why would you pay $10? I'd pay $500 for a PlayStation 5, and they're paywalling the features of the console that should be available to you day one. I'm like, it is available to you. Current gen games cost $70 for first party of Sony, and last gen games first party cost $60. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's like, like there's like I said this to people, like you're getting a tangible, you're getting something tangible with that. Like, there's things that you can look at and say, these feature sets are not on the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 doesn't have haptic feedback, doesn't have 3D audio, that can't do, some of them maybe have some of those graphic improvements per se. Can't do those things. So, Sony feels like, hey, you know what? That's if you want the more premium experience, that's the price for it. And this my point is this, like, a lot of these people I bet that are speaking out against this are probably doing the same thing, consuming what they're speaking out against with other things, other services per se.
Yeah.
Like, I brought up what was it? B-Money, Netflix, right?
Right.
You buy a 4K TV, do you automatically get 4K content? No,
got to pay that extra $3 or $4.
Yep. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, like Netflix is going to charge you a premium. This is the.
And
this
you're not forced. I like people like to throw the term out. You shouldn't be forced to do that. Like,
you're not.
I haven't given. Yeah, I'm like,
you're not forced.
Netflix can say you better do this, or you can't get in at all.
Standing in your living room, making sure you
right.
You're not leaving his living room.
Give me those $3.
Big thick neck dude with a too small Netflix shirt on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, run that credit card, player. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I got other people to go see.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I totally, if somebody says, you know what, I don't want to pay $70 for games, I get that. That's fine. But this whole thing of, like you said, they're forcing me. No one's forcing you to do anything. You don't have to buy it. That's free market. This idea that because one company did it, the other company has to do it. Like, I use my cheeseburger analogy, which kind of That was kind of some of the responses were interesting. I think what I said went over a lot of people's heads,
as it always does.
Yes, but I don't know if you saw that, Mooch. I said,
did see it, absolutely.
I mean, but should Five Guys? I don't know if you have Five Guys up there in New York.
We
Mooch,
certainly
but,
do. I have it less than a mile away. And when you said that, I'm watching the old LBs there, Brap. So,
well, so Mooch. I mean, but
he started talking about that Five Guys. It was like, oh,
right,
right.
Oh man, he had to go there.
I know, man.
Bag of fries,
well, that's what I'm saying. Question is, what
fries, though?
That's the question I was going to ask. When it comes to Five Guys, what size fry do you get to get the maximum amount of fries that you want? Do you go with the small, the medium, or large?
Listen,
you just go large. You go large. You just get the whole bag full.
Forte, you get even when you order a small, they hit you in the back of the head with a fry when you're leaving. I mean,
they do.
Right.
I always get the large, bro. I'm like, yo, I can't leave these fries on the table.
Yeah.
But it's like when I just feel like when certain consumers have forgotten that products have different, like values to them that are signed by the companies that make them, right? Like Five Guys is considered a higher end, fast food place, where McDonald's is not per se. But just because McDonald's is charging $1.25 for their cheeseburgers, was my point, doesn't mean that Five Guys is charging like $6 some change, needs to do the same as McDonald's, right? And that's where consumerism kicks in, where you decide, do I want to pay the $6? Is that Five Guys burger worth it to me? For some people, it might not be. For some people, it might, right?
Exactly.
Right. But Enrique, was there a McDonald's, like a CEO stand, who said you just don't understand what he was saying?
No, man.
Because I did see somebody go to the, like, I'm like, man, you guys you'll go left just because somebody said go right. They're like, yeah, but I bet Five Guys wish they had McDonald's money.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
See, that's why I brought up the whole
McDonald's been around,
the whole bag thing during the rant. It's like, I mean, we all have women in our lives.
Yes, we do.
And your woman has a certain, certain level of things that she likes to buy. So, like, if you buy your woman a bag, some women are cool with having a Target bag. You know what I mean? Nice little bag she can carry when she's going to work or whatever. Some women aren't going to accept the Target bag. So you got to go to Saks and get her a Louis bag.
Man, I got
that.
Do I have a story for you, bro?
Yes,
so
sir.
let me tell you the story that I got for you. So we bought this. You all know we bought this new house back in January.
Hey, Forte, you got to wrap this story up, bro. I don't mean to cut you off, man. We got a lot. I got some super chats. And we got some topics to get into.
We bought this house in January, and my wife hit me upside the head, said we got to go to the mall. I was like, why? She said we got to go to the Donna Saks store. I'm like, really? What are we getting there? She's been looking at this Burberry bag for like the last 4 or 5 years, $1,200 bag, and I was like, oh, man, we got the money. I said, treat yourself. I treat myself all the time. I just bought my Xbox Series X and my PS5. Buy what you want to buy. And she literally told me, she was like, you know what? I want this purse. I'm going to buy it. And the only reason I didn't buy it sooner is because I couldn't see myself walking into somebody else's apartment building or someone else's house that we were renting and have $1,000 purse. Now that we have our own house, I feel more comfortable doing it. And it was like a mind F to me. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it like that. Cause people do that type of stuff all the time. Hellcat sitting in a mama's driveway and stuff. Crazy out here, man.
Yeah, let me grab some super chats here. We got super chat from John E. $2 super chat says, much love to the panel. I'm hyped for tomorrow. Thank you for that super chat, Johnny. I think many of us on the panel are hyped.
That's right.
For tomorrow. And then we got $2 super chat from Borbor Country. $2 super chat says, please no Xbox talk today. So I stick till the end. Okay, I appreciate that. You're voicing your.
You being honest with you.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear about no Xbox stuff.
I can't promise there won't be any Xbox. Actually, there will be Xbox talk, but Xbox talk as relates to a new Xbox. So,
I wonder if he means like in terms like, does he feel like we're like slanderous, or does he feel like just don't talk about them at all?
Well, he might be talking about. Well, I think Enrique's the one. If he talk about slanderous, is Enrique he talking about? Enrique, I think everybody else is pretty balanced in their idea of Xbox. Enrique on the other hand, woo. I'm an Xbox Live beta tester, and I had my third kid by then.
Right. But by default, he's a PC master racer, so he's still like in the Xbox, camp.
Man, that man has no idea what he is right now.
No, he doesn't. He has identity crisis.
Exactly.
I you know what, man?
I still love you, bro, even though we're talking about you while you're right here.
I know, right? I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right through.
That's family.
I know. We talk about you right to your face.
Yeah, jeez. Let me get this
like
other
Michael Jordan did with the Bulls.
Let me get this other super chat because this is the best super chat of the show. Yeah, one of the best, I should say. Game Over Brian with the $5 super chat says, "Hey guys, great panel, but I have questions for Legendary Mooch and Forte. When upgrading Ghost of Tsushima PS5, do trophies pop automatic?"
Man,
they certainly do, Brian, and I'm glad you asked that question.
I'm glad he did too.
They do.
Yeah. All right. So, did you guys? Yeah, I think he actually asked maybe Grub. I think the same question.
Yeah.
Or another. Maybe it was.
He usually asks Persona.
Yeah, this is
Persona. Okay.
That just lets you know how a lot of people. It's a lot of cross viewing across all these different platforms because he is one of Persona's biggest supporters, and he supports a lot of people now.
Yeah,
ever since
shout out to Brian. Appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really appreciate that, Brian. All right, so you guys see this news of? Let me get this one super chat real quick. Jeff B. Gaming with the $5 super chat says, "Hey, Brap, can you and the panel talk about the hardware busters debunking the revised PS5 being hotter when the CPU runs 11 degrees colder?" Mm-hmm. We can talk about that real quick. Do you guys see this video?
Yes.
Hardware busters. I saw that. This guy did a test.
Yeah.
According to him, and I personally want to see more tests like this per se. I'm not going to just say that this is the fact is. It could be true. I mean, like he could have tested this correctly, and it could be right. But me personally, I like to see more people test it. But at least it's interesting because you're having someone who actually tests the internal heat and the internal heat with the CPU. And this guy, for what this guy is saying, based on his tests, that the new version of the PS5 is actually 11 degrees colder. The CPU is, and so it's interesting. I don't know. Do you guys, Mooch, thoughts? Anyone thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I agree with you. I mean, I'd like to see some more analytics, more people performing these tests than just one other. I think Gamer NX? He's
Gamer Nexus,
right? He's doing something. He's working on something that someone said. I mean, the thing about it is this: we live in a great time where you can go to YouTube and you can click on a topic that you love and enjoy, whether it be a hobby, etc. And you can find a bunch of people that have amazing channels and they provide entertainment. Now, when you take that level of entertainment as the same as, a Britannica encyclopedia, well, you have to start to decide as you, the viewer, how do you decide how you're watching this content? And there's a lot of people out there that are influencers and they get products and they definitely get promotions. I'm not saying they get a check. It doesn't come in the form of a check. It's not like, hey, everybody, look, my Microsoft check came today. Like that's not how it happens. It's different perks in life besides an obvious check. But it's the ability to get maybe invited to certain things. There's different perks in life that help you promote your brand. And it just seems to me that the person that did the initial test was doing it to quickly get as much attention as possible. I mean, that was a very quick, right? Temperature gauge from the back of the venting system, and it is what it is. Like I said, I at the end of the day, we'll find out what the actual truth is. But you have to enjoy. I enjoy a lot of different content across YouTube, a lot of different things, even outside of gaming. And it's like there's certain times I'm watching someone that I think is really just an absolutely amazing entertainer, and they'll say something that's their opinion, and I don't either don't believe it or I just say, you know what, that's not what I think. But that's up to me as the person consuming that entertainment to do my due diligence to go and find out if that's actually a fact or not. So I don't blame an influencer for doing certain things, but the larger and larger you go up the influencer scale, people say you hold a bit of responsibility. That's, again, I think up to the audience. The audience will decipher that in the long run. But yeah, I agree with you, Brap. I do think that we have to wait to see a few more people do these tests before you can start pointing fingers. But at the same time, that was an awfully quick, ran out, got a new SKU, did a quick test, ta-da! may be performance issue. It may cause you this. It may stutter when you do that. It may throttle because it's already got a lot of heat coming out the back. And it's like, were we just jumping to, conclusions to get those quick views? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out in the next few weeks. But this new evidence that came about was very telling.
Right.
Yeah, because you also had, like a week ago, I think it was, Digital Foundry said they're going to have their findings soon. But
That's right.
From what they initially looked at, it looked promising. From what they said, right?
That's right.
Did I get that right? Yeah. So
so
it's sort of trending
exactly.
into a different direction. And here's the thing, like with the whole Austin Evans thing, I know people are like kind of going at him or saying whatever, and I kind of look at it like, I've been following this dude since he was like in his apartment.
Yeah.
And him and MKBHD, collaborating. MKBHD has Cheerio boxes. So I've been watching these guys for a long time. They're tech guys. They're tech reviewers, right? They know their stuff. But at the same time, he did his little thing. He looked at it or whatever. Either camp shouldn't be putting too much stock into what he had to say about it.
Right.
He's making a video. So I know PlayStation guys wanted to go after him. Xbox guys wanted to prop him up. And I'm just like, he's a tech reviewer. He does not hold any, as far as I know, any thermal engineering degrees. So let's just sit back and let the guys who actually do, handle these kind of things, go with it. I know a lot of people got their doctorate in thermal engineering watching YouTube videos.
Oh, man.
And they were on the timeline, acting like they were. It's amazing. Like, we have all these tech experts.
Online graduation.
Yeah, we have all these tech experts who can tell you the ins and outs of teraflops and everything else. But then it comes to putting a damn screw in place, and I don't know. That looks complicated.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah. Stop, man! Stop putting so much stock in YouTubers and everything else.
Well, most of these YouTubers, especially ones that big, they kind of built a reputation on telling people in their earlier days. So, like, I'm telling, I may have a following, but they always tell people, like, go off your own information. I'm just giving you what I see. What do you see? It's just more of an informational thing. You should never believe what anybody else is telling you before you find out for yourself, or you go to people that are licensed and professional enough to give you the correct information. That's why when I saw the Austin Evans video, I was like, this is interesting. And that's all I thought of it. And I didn't say anything on Twitter, and I didn't say anything on YouTube. And I was like, well, if Gamer Nexus or somebody came out and talked about something like this, I'd be like, okay, because I know he uses equipment to actually test that stuff right at the metal of the hardware. But ultimately, it was a little overblown. But, he came out and apologized, which he didn't expect that he was going to have to do, because I think sometimes even the YouTubers got to remember that even if they are not used to having to tell people, find your own information, and my information I'm giving you is just kind of what I see, they got to kind of remember that they got to, say that all the time, because now we're in a part of social media where one video can turn a complete conversation upside down.
Yeah. Well, great points across the board. I mean, and I appreciate that super chat as well. Jeff. So, but I do, speaking of like PlayStation 5, I do want to go on to the rumor out there. If you guys saw this today, was that you, E, speaking up? Is that you said something?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm hearing things. Jesus.
You are.
Yeah, I think I am hearing things. I'm getting old. So there's rumors out there. We already that there's going to be a new Xbox console per se, like a Pro, if you will, like we saw with the Xbox One X. And also a PlayStation 5 Pro. These consoles are rumored to be coming, according to this leak. 2020, shoot. I think it was 2023.
Oh, man, before all the games come out.
2023, yeah. For 2023, 2024 for PlayStation 5.
Man, before all the games are coming out.
But here's the thing with and then the Series X, or the Microsoft Xbox Series XS refresh plan sometime around late 2023, 2024, and then the rumored PlayStation 5 Pro late 2023, 2024. The one thing about this leak, though, is it states that the pricing is up to $700. It's aiming for premium 4K, 8K gaming segment. And I don't know, guys. I don't. My quick take on this, I think with the supply constraints, I mean, and we might not even have regular stock until next year. It should maybe even next year, maybe not even next year, right? I don't think this is going to be. I think if it was like 2024, 2025, I might believe this. I also don't know about a $600-700 price tag, but I could be wrong. I mean, if Sony really releases something that has like that's significantly more powerful, maybe. But I don't think this thing's going to happen in 2023. I just don't for either company. I don't think. I could be wrong though. Mooch, what do you think, man? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's as far-fetched as everybody just copied it, tweeted it, and did a ha emoji. And I'm sitting there, right? And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, okay, I'll buy what BRAP just said at the end there. BRAP saying 2023 may be a bit aggressive. That's true, especially if we're in the mid 2022 before consoles are readily available to everybody. I get that. However, the one thing that the consoles have been doing that they didn't have to do in prior generations up until last was keep up with PC. And the PC every year, right? The 30 series came out because they're already starting to talk about the 40 series. That's not a joke. No one did a laughing emoji when that was discussed a few weeks back. So these new consoles are maybe it'll be the end of 2024 then. So maybe the rumors slightly embellished, but to say that it's not going to happen, that's foolish. It's certainly going to happen, whether it's 2023 or 2024. I'll be frank with you guys. It's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. But everyone was kind of laughing it off like it's not going to happen at all. It certainly is. And, like I say, it's just now the pricing, that's way too early to talk. You know what I mean? You're guesstimating mass production and mass purchasing of materials and product that's being, it's being worked on with AMD right now as we speak. They're talking about it in the lab in the R&D facility. They're not even at the point of manufacturing or mass production. So those numbers, that's where you want to. That's the false. There is the $600, $700, $800. They were saying the same thing about this generation. We may be seeing prices up for $800. Yeah, stop it. That's the part where I think it's false. But if you said, Mooch, do you think come October, November 2024, we may have a PS5 Pro and an Xbox Series X Pro or whatever they want to call it? I think that's totally feasible. I don't think that's outlandish at all.
Not in the least. Why wouldn't they do it?
Exactly. Why wouldn't they? They've proven that people are going to buy it.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
They got us last time.
Yep.
Everybody went out and bought new consoles, and we all were bamboozled, but we didn't care.
That's true, B. That is true. I mean, let me use BRAP's instance in the reverse sense, right? So if people are holding on to their PS4s and their Xbox Ones right now, and they're not running out to go get it, and we just did the whole segment there on 2K, right? And they have their PS4 version and Xbox One version, and people are like, if you're going to keep doing this well into 2022, well, guess what? They might go, you know what? I'll just pick up a Pro. So there's a whole group of people, customers, that are not jumping on the PS5, Xbox Series X train. They might wait to the latter part of 2023 or mid 2024 to jump on a Pro. So, I mean, I'm just giving you another example on the outlandish side of that conversation. But to say that by November 2024, we don't have Pro versions of these current consoles, I think that's crazy. I think it's definitely coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, I don't know why people will be laughing that off. I mean, it's been proven that people will do it, right? And in particular, like I think on the Xbox side, they know their audience. They know damn well that those dudes like that will line up for hardware. So
Absolutely.
So I can definitely see like refreshes, coming down. Like
and
down the line.
Neil S in the chat made a good point. He said, "Screw 8K." He's right. Can we finally get a machine that literally can do native 4K 120 frames? Can we get that? Take the 8K and shove it. We don't want 8K. Even if I have an 8K TV, I would be more than happy with 4K 120. Give me that.
Mooch, the only thing I did when I saw that, I just sunk down in the chair because I was like, I can't do it. I can't do the spec talk again. I can't do the flop talk again.
You did the spec talk.
Demoralized.
You just got past the bullshit.
It's exhausting. It was fun, I think, when we were going from the 360 to the Xbox One and the PS3 to the PS4. That was kind of fun because we had been left in console like purgatory. I don't know. We were left there to die, right? We had that. It was an 11-year cycle or 9-10-year cycle with the 360 and the PS3. It's like, come on already. We wanted that power. That was where it was interesting. Now to sit here and we clearly can see the differential between the Series X and the PS5. We talked we talked ad nauseum about the power differential. And here, I mean, it was like I said it. I said it on my show. I said it on MNC. We've said it over and over again. We said they're going to be comparable. One will beat one week. One will beat the other the next week. They're going to be comparable. And they are. These machines are very comparable. So that part of the tech talk, that's kind of exhausting at this point. Both companies know what they want to put, right? They know the ammo they want to put in these boxes. They're going to be very oddly similar. One will have a bit of a perk in one category, one will have a perk in the other one, and then you as the customer pick which perk you like better. I mean, that's just, you know what I mean? But at the same time, or you end up buying both, which was what most people do nowadays.
Pretty much.
Well, you
yeah.
know,
Eventually.
Xbox side,
What's up,
they
Slow-Mo?
already came
Hey,
out.
Slow-Mo.
What is up?
Like on the Xbox side, they already came out
Yeah, say
multiple
hi to
times
us
and
before you
said,
keep talking.
I said, what's up?
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. Everybody say hi, Slow-Mo, and you just want to keep talking.
I said, what's up? Like 3 times.
All right, yeah. We're just keeping you balanced, man. That's it.
Or you know, you can clean their ears out so you can hear me a little bit better. It's all right. It's all right though, man.
Nobody said anything negative to you. You want to go slanderous? Okay,
I'm not. Look. This is what I was trying to say. What I'm saying is that they've come out already and said they're already working on the next hardware edition, which isn't going to be. It's strictly just what you're getting, the same sock that's inside of the Xbox Series X, just updated for like additional like other features or whatever. That's not going to be the case. This is going to be probably AMD RDNA 3 and just like the next step up with their what they currently have with more features. They're able to handle different things. RDNA 3 is probably going to be able to do 4K easily with 120 native 4K. So with all the bells and whistles, so like that's going to be great. And I can't see Sony looking at Microsoft on the other side. When it comes to things like services like Game Pass and stuff like that, they don't have to follow them on that route. But when it comes to the hardware, to be like as Mook said, they're not that far off from one another right now. But if Xbox comes out with a Xbox Series V, just making up a letter, right? Clearly, it's going to be another letter at the end, right?
Right.
And there's no PS5 Pro. The difference in power is going to be pretty significant at that point. I can't see them saying, "No, we're good. We're not going to do anything at all." Like, no, they're going to do a Pro. I think the days of generations that last 5 years or more are gone. They're not going quite the cell phone model route where you get a new cell phone, a new addition to a particular series of cell phone every year. But it's definitely not going to be 5 years anymore.
Well, I think 3 to 4 years. And the reason I would jump to 4 in this particular instance is because of the pandemic and the lingering effects. But, you know, you look at, what was it? It was 2013. The base models came out last generation. Yeah. And I believe it was October of 16 that the PS4 Pro came out. And then it was, you know, and then 17 was the what is it, Project Scorpio. And you know, I mean, that's and there you are. There's 3 years at that point, no pandemic, no nothing. People could very easily get all those other upgraded consoles. And people go, well, Mooch, you have to understand the Xbox One, the PS4 didn't quite put the hardware in that consumers wanted. I agree with that. I truly, truly do. But as you can see, like Intel and all these companies, they're not stopping. I mean, every year, 30 series, 40 series, the 50 series is already being discussed somewhere. Trust me. So, like, the consoles are trying to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses in this case is the PC crowd, and that's what they don't want to fall too far behind on. And
that goes back to the conversation.
They already behind as it is.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Behind now, yeah.
Absolutely.
Just saying. So when the consoles were announced, it's like, oh man, that's almost on par with like a 2080 Ti, best GPU on the market. It is
on par with the 2080 Ti, Slow-Mo.
2070 Super.
No, it's not.
$500. What are you talking
maybe
about?
2070.
And then by the time the consoles were out, they were already outdated because NVIDIA and AMD dropped new GPUs that made the 2080 Ti look like a 980. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I think that also goes back to that what you just said, where somebody just said about, is it too early? You got to remember, just like Boo said, there's 3080s and 30 series cards out there now, and they're already working on 40 series, and they know they can sell a bunch of more 30 series, but they're going to move forward, even knowing that there's a bunch of people out here that would just rather have a 3080 or a 3070. But at a certain point, once they hear those 40 series cars coming out, those 30 series is going to go out the window. They ain't gonna care
that's
no
what
more.
I did. I remember so many people when I got my 2080 Ti back out. It was 2 years ago in October, right? 2 years ago, I got the 2080 Ti, and I remember so many people that I knew that had 960s, 1080 Ti's, right? And they're like, I'm not getting the 20. They wait. So the 10s waited for the 30s. I personally, I will blame the pandemic. I would have probably leapfrogged and jumped, pardon me, into a Founders Edition 3090. But because it's still not able, I still can't get my hand. I'm going to wait for so I'm going to be one of the ones that goes from the 20 to the 40. I'm going to upgrade in the 40s, and then I'm hoping they'll be readily available. You know, probably maybe not day one, but I don't have to wait till day 787.
Yeah, I was in the same situation. If my 1080 Ti didn't take a dump like 3 months before the graphics cards came out, I would have got a 3080, but I ended up getting a 2080 because I just had I had a 2080 just because I had to have one. I had to have a GPU. I couldn't do anything without one. So it kind of screwed me over a little bit. But yeah, I would have been one of those people too, jumping 2 generations. And I'm kind of going to do it this time. Slow-mo kind of talked me into it because multiple times I had the chance of getting that 3080, and someone was like, "Bro, just wait."
Yeah, just wait. If you listen to all the people who actually have real sources out here with AMD and NVIDIA, especially on the AMD side with RDNA 3, what the new generation is going to do compared to the current GPUs that are out, it's going to put them to shame. So it's like you're going to be seeing people. You're going to see the people that always get the latest card. They're gonna sell their current one and use that to subsidize the new one. My only concern, and then you're going to get the ones who have waited and who are just going to do what you guys are doing, which is just skip the 3000 series generation and RDNA 2 generation and just go to the next one. But what I'm concerned with the way things have played out with cost and how after they've gotten a little bit more supply in, they just decided to ignore MSRP and price from the manufacturer, price these GPUs at $200-$300 more at minimum than what the MSRP suggested the price should be. I'm expecting now AMD and NVIDIA to get real disgusting with some of this stuff. You don't be surprised if their flagship card is coming in at $1,000 off the break.
Yeah, I got a question for Mooch. So Mooch, if let's say this PlayStation 5 Pro comes out, right?
Yeah.
Mooch, you have a PlayStation 5, right?
Ure.
Should Sony give you the free upgrade to the PlayStation 5 Pro?
Oh man,
no. But my very good
system or games,
the system.
So, the system, absolutely not. But
I mean, why not? You already bought a piece. I mean,
I wish I could pull up.
You think they were doing that?
That's a good question. I like how it's got the little jab inserted in there too, Brap. But I have a very good friend in Gaming Forte and his company that you guys know me, Moochonomics, guys. I try to make sure that you are always taken care of when I try to do. Listen, it's always money out of pocket, right? We all say this. Gaming's an expensive hobby.
It is expensive hobby. Yes.
I'll tell you right now. Same thing I said with last generation. Same thing I'll say this generation. I will be there day one for a PS5. And B Money even said this. He goes, and we all kind of lined up and got taken for it. That's fine. But here's the thing. You have a $500 PS5 sitting in your home right now. A PS5 Pro, let's say, just strolls along in 2024 at some point in time, right? Well, I'm telling you, your good friends at GameStop, right, Forte? You'll say this. Yep. They're going to give you between $200 and $250 for that PS5 that most people still can't get their hands on, right?
Probably
it's
$300.
It's like a relic, right? Maybe $300, and they're going to have another $500-$600 thing. So again, for half that price out of pocket, let's even say it's $550, $600. Let's go $600. Let's go ridiculous, $600. And Forte gives you $250, $300 for it at GameStop, right? I mean, that's now I'm paying $300 out of pocket to make sure I have the best gaming console for the next 3 years. And here I am telling everybody week to week that, and it really is like just before BRAP, I was playing Ghost of Tsushima, Iki Island. I'm just about done with it. And I got to be honest with you, why would I not want the latest? Just like I can't wait for the 40 series card, I can't wait for the PS5 Pro or the Xbox Series X Pro. I mean, I'm going to do that because now you take the equation out. You take that $250, $300 incentive out. Then we have to reverse and have this conversation again.
Yeah.
The day that the GameStops and the Best Buys won't give this money to you, then we have to have a discussion. But right now, I have no problem going a full 3 years. Remember, I got my PS5 day one. Now you go 3 years into the future, 4 years into the future, using this thing every single day, every night. And then I get $300 for it back, another $300 out of pocket, and I get another 3 years of the best hardware. I mean, for me, being the gamer and just loving this hobby since I was a kid, that's a no-brainer. That may not be the same case for you listening, but that's how I feel. And if you're listening to this show, I have a feeling that you have the same love for gaming and this hobby that I do. That doesn't necessarily mean you can't wait to throw $300 out of your pocket, but to get the latest and greatest and to enjoy everything and to see all the frills and the things that the new hardware will be able to do and push us into that next generation, I think that's worth it with that incentive that GameStop offers. Take that incentive away, we have to have a completely different conversation.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would probably be one of those individuals there at GameStop if this thing comes out at $600, and if GameStop gives me a $300 trade-in, I would probably entertain getting a PlayStation 5 Pro. That's just me, though. So, I do want to grab a quick super chat from your buddy here, Mooch.
Yes.
Borbor.
Yes.
Borbor Country, $2 super chat says, even with your 3090, you're still waiting on PS4 ports.
Yeah, I wrote him in the chat. I said he's not wrong. That's a whole nother subject that I don't know if you want to get into. I think that's funny. I love it. I mean, I have a gaming PC. I totally have an appreciation for gaming PC more than I ever did. I'm still a console guy. I still prefer console. But I get a kick out of it when a lot of PC guys are always like, well, there you go. The Nathan Drake collection. Told you we don't need a PlayStation. Finally coming to PC. And I'm like,
oh yeah, that's
ain't
like
true. 9 years old, man.
Yeah, don't wait for games.
I don't like. That's like you telling me you just saw the first Back to the Future. I'm like, that's awesome for you.
Great Scott.
You know what I mean? 1.27 gigawatts. What's going on? I don't understand all that. I know, right? People say that all the time online.
We're gonna win an Oscar for this.
There goes that reason to get a PlayStation. I'm gonna get to play the first Infamous. Told you those things were coming over to PC. Yeah, dude, that was like a long time ago. I mean, enjoy that. I'm not going to tell you not to enjoy it, but I certainly don't see the excitement. I just said that. I mean, we are in this space, this hobby. Like, B's a big fan of, NBA. Like, he doesn't want to play NBA 2K22 and 25.
We'll be streaming that this weekend, by the way.
What's that, Brad?
Me and B Money. We're finally.
Oh, you are? It's happening?
Yeah. B is finally. I was
wondering why you were buying that, Brap. I'm like, why is Brap buying NBA 2K22?
And I got the $100 edition. I had to because that steel case, everything that comes
let
with
me know if one falls off the truck, will you?
I'll
drive over. I really would drive over.
That's it, Mooch. PC still is the best place to play, though. I mean, look, yeah, you may be only getting the PlayStation exclusives later than everyone else, but that's just the PlayStation exclusives. Like, contrary to popular belief from ponies, those aren't the only games that come out. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they act like that's like they're all there is the PlayStation exclusives. I mean, like, they can't dislodge that Sony penis out of their mouth. But outside of that,
wow.
I mean, it's true. Okay. I mean, like,
good thing the show's on late.
I know. This is why I do 9 o'clock.
Hey, you can't do like prime time.
If I did 8 o'clock, I'd be, the channel would be reported.
Put a sensor in the corner at least.
Yeah. You guys will be fine. We're adults here, but still, like, it's those aren't the only games that come out, and the PC gets exclusives like from indie devs and other places that don't come to console. So it's like, if you don't mind not playing games in your living room, then your PC's where it's at.
Slow-mo, and it's such a funny thing you say that, because that's the only reason I haven't moved even more into the PC space, is just because.
Yeah, it makes sense. And
I did what everyone told me to do. I did everything, and I'll actually send you guys some shots. I showed Brap. I got my OLED CX here in the office now, and I do have the PC also wired to it, so I can play on my monitor. Which my monitor, by the way, is, believe it or not, even though the CX is a beautiful television, the monitor I have is better. And I'll be honest with you, it is better to play PC games on this monitor, just as a matter of fact, right? You don't go put the money into the PC and then you don't have the output. I mean, you're kind of wasting your money on the PC. So But yeah, that is the one thing I gotta say though, Slow-Mo. Long day at work, right? Kids got football practice. I got soccer practice. I gotta get the. You come home. You got dinner. You did the lawn. And then it's like, hey, you know what I should do? Go sit in this 90-degree vertical upright chair, right, at the desk that I just left for 10 hours. Sounds like a blast. Let's play some games, Slow-Mo. No, I want to sit on my couch, So even in the office where I have the TV hooked up to it, it's still on a gaming chair. I don't have a couch in here. It's an office. That's why it's called an office. You put a couch in here in the refrigerator, it's a different room. So it's just not that. It is what it is. And I know everyone says they can make light of it. And if you can make light of it, that's awesome. But I see BRAP's setup. BRAP's got his PC and his gaming PC just a smidgen over. Right next to him is a couch. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
I don't have it. There's no couch in the office. So it is what it is. I just got to kind of deal with what my issue is. But I'll tell you, that's the one sales point, Slow-Mo, that really drives it home is
I put a futon or a couch in my office, and then I no, I said if I did, I can't call it an office
probably
anymore.
What I'm
my wife would be like, that's not an office, sir. Like when I'm in my office and I'm working, but then every now.
Where do you get on your PC though, Slow-Mo? Where is your
in my
PC?
Look, I have a desk that is L shaped, and on the right side is all my monitors and my laptop and my cradle set up for work. On the left side is my gaming PC and my dual monitors for gaming. So it's easy for me to be able to just
Slow-Mo
on my desk 4.
Yeah. Good God.
Got 4 monitors. Yeah. 2 are for work, 2 are for play. You know how it is. So it's just real easy to just while I'm waiting for something to get done, I'm waiting to hear back from somebody on something work related, I can just play a game.
The other thing too, and it's funny because I don't know, and you guys tell me, and BRAP, I don't mean to side rail this because we have a lot of topics to get to, but I just want to ask the 2 guys that I know game on PC the most here are, BRAP, you as well, but Slow-Mo and Forte they always talk about it. Is this like when I'm on PlayStation or Xbox? Not only am I gaming and having a blast sometimes, whether it's a multiplayer game, but like people hit me up. Slow-Mo, you hit me up the other day. Like I was on PlayStation, you hit me up. But like when I'm playing on PC, like the community there seems more separated. They just seem like they're more playing individually. It's not as
it's more about who you know. Because
is that what it is? On console,
you know a lot of console gamers.
Yes,
therefore,
this is true.
Yeah. Because like I see a lot of people on PC that they're playing with a bunch of people on PC. Like if you enter like Valorant, WoW, League of Legends, like games that are like primary
PC's
games.
The place to be.
Yeah. Then you're playing with people who are on PC. You're in Discord chat. Like it's like 50 people in there or whatever. Like it's just about like your social circle, your gaming social circle.
This is a good point.
More console related.
Well, what about you though, Slow-Mo? Because you're on shows. You definitely, you've been on Crossfire. You're on this show. You're on your own podcast. You're definitely speaking to I would think you're speaking to more of a console clientele. Would you not?
Yeah. It's a mix because I play with people who also go back and forth between console and PC. So like I can
find a lot of activity, like how am I trying to put like more of that like friend interaction on Steam as you do on your PS5 and Xbox?
It's getting better. Like shout out to Elder Cat because like when I first started, I couldn't really find too many people to play, so I ended up playing a lot of games that were solo. And I still play a lot of solo games. There's a lot of indie games that are like that.
Yeah, exactly. But, more solo games on PC. Yes.
Yeah, but as I've just been playing on PC primarily more, I find a lot of people now to play with. Like I've played with Elder Cat, the homie Elder Cat. I played with him even though the game is the game I've been playing is on crossplay and multi-platform. But Road Company, me and him are always playing that. Splitgate, like when it comes to multiplayer games, I don't have a problem finding people to play with.
Well, multiplayer games that I know that you've enjoyed, that you've actually got me into, they're all cross-play. So you've been able to kind of that's having your cake and eating it too, though, right?
Yeah. And even though like shout out to some of my homies who refuse to, they're afraid of the PC players and the cheaters, or even though there's cheaters on consoles or whatever, right? They're afraid of all that, so they don't want to play against with me on PC if I'm playing on PC, so they disable crossplay. But I still got people I can play with on PC regardless, so it doesn't really matter to me. I can play with whoever. It's all good.
No, Slow-Mo made a good point. BRAP, I think we hijacked your show for long enough.
Sure did.
Oh no, it's fine. A great conversation. I was just reading the live chat and everything. Make sure people are behaving, if you will.
Behave.
By the way, we got 161 people watching. Smash that like button, everyone.
Hit that like
Smash that like button. Come on. Borbor Country again with the $2 super chat. 25 years on PlayStation only. I'm not impressed by others. Thank you for that super chat, sir. Glad you're enjoying your PlayStation experience. Yeah, so I do want to go to a potential, something that David Jaffe talked about, a quote-unquote PlayStation exclusive. I don't know if you guys saw this tweet. So Jaffe, 4 days ago, tweeted out, "Here's a useless tweet, but if I don't say anything, I will explode." The idea of Jaffe exploding kind of
Jaffe's so funny. He's so eccentric. Like I have to say this, I'm going to explode if I don't.
Yeah.
Like, okay, go off, bro.
Jaffe just found out. He says, "I just found out about a new PlayStation game they're making. No idea when it gets revealed. Maybe next week, and next week referring to this week. Maybe not. But just know when it does, people are going to lose their fucking minds. Badass."
Okay, so I had some thoughts about this because I was streaming earlier. I was streaming, playing Hades earlier. One of the best games to come out in the past few years. Sure. And I was streaming, and I was talking with some of the people in the chat about this. What if Sony announced Firaxis Games? The acquisition of I said Firaxis. Good grief. Firaxis makes XCOM. What is it? Firespire? Whatever their name is, right? Firespike?
Yeah.
Firestarter? Whatever their names are, right? Okay, look. Yeah, remember that song? Okay,
yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
we're old.
Oh my god, we are old.
It came out when I was in college. I mean, I said that song came out when I was in college. What I mean is that what if they announced the acquisition of that studio today so that they could show this AAA narrative-driven game that they're making tomorrow? Because it is known that they're making a AAA narrative-driven game. Yeah, whatever the name is. Mm-hmm. So like they're gonna be making a narrative-driven game, and I think it makes a lot of sense if Sony saw this game ahead of time and was like, "Oh man, like their last game, The Persistence, was a." So
apparently, you were speaking to T-Rock about this.
Yes, I was. Me and T-Rock were talking about this, and I think that if they announced this before the show, it's likely we might see something of them during the show. And they're not like Microsoft where they'll go ahead and make a part of the show an announcement that we announced we just acquired X studio. They don't do that during the show. So it would make sense to me if they would be like, yeah, hey, we just acquired this developer, and then tomorrow we see this newly acquired developer's game that they've been working on. And it would also make sense to me that they saw this game ahead of time and was like, maybe they were thinking about, hey, let's lock up the marketing for this one like we typically do. But if it's like really good and it's a multi-plat like their last game, they may say, you know what, let's just make this exclusive to us.
Do we know how long they've been working on it, Slow-Mo?
No idea. They previously, The Persistence came out, I think. I have to double check when that game, that was their last game, but that studio is over 200 developers, so they could really work on multiple games at once. My bad, you were talking?
No, I was just saying the VR version of Persistence came out a while ago, but the regular version came out June or July, I think,
of this year.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, even if that's the case, a studio of around 200 to 250 developers can work on multiple games at once. So they could really have another AAA game being worked on by like half the studio and definitely be like on par or on target with it coming out soon or being far enough along where you can show it.
So
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, to your point, Slow-Mo, Fire Spice Project, AAA adventure game, as you mentioned, described as an ambitious, dark narrative blockbuster. They have studios been on a hiring spree, adding talent from Naughty Dog, Rockstar, Ubisoft, Rocksteady, and more. Well, I don't know. That got my attention. They have my
they're working on 2 games though.
2 games, okay.
Yeah, they're working on a shooter too.
So they like the initiative.
What'd you say, E?
Yeah, true.
But they like the initiative.
They're like the initiative. It's funny.
Hey, why dudes didn't get excited to hear all those talented studios being people from talented studios being quiet?
Because the PlayStation
I see the
community,
same level of hype, Enrique.
Like they stealing talent from everybody. They're
Because-
going to make the next no.
Hey, I'm in a messy mood tonight, man.
wait, let me answer your question, man.
Go
Because
ahead.
on the PlayStation side, it is you need to show me. Let the games do the talking.
Right.
You know, and that's why you're not seeing, I think, what you're describing. But you are being messy today. E.
I am,
But
man. I'm
love it.
sorry.
I love it though.
He in his bag tonight.
Yeah, I love it though. I like spicy Eric.
The timeline
Yeah.
is funny, man. It's just funny. It's like all these salmon are swimming to the same spot, but they all act like they're different. I'm like, y'all,
The salmon.
you're the same creatures doing the same thing, pointing fingers at each other. It's like you do the same shit all day long. You know?
Sir.
And now
Yeah,
you got
but, you know,
spaces.
Look, man, look.
Oh,
Talent
boy.
going from one direction to another doesn't
Happens all
mean
the
that
time.
it happens all the time. Doesn't mean that the studio they're going to
Right.
is going to produce games on the same level as the studio they just left.
Yep.
A great example of this is Godfall. Godfall was made by Counterplay Games,
Oh, man, you be with
and
Godfall.
Godfall had developers that came from Bungie, that came from Massive Entertainment, all these looter developers, and their immediate thought was, oh man, Godfall is going to be amazing.
Right.
How did that turn
I
out?
think Mooch is
Just
hyping that
because-
game up.
Everyone says
don't
that. I
do
didn't hype it up. It was going to be a launch title. I was like,
Same
well, yeah.
energy, Mooch. Same energy.
Hey, listen, I got news for you. I got excited for Dead Rising 3. I mean, that wasn't like a blockbuster, hit. I still enjoyed it. I think I didn't buy Godfall when it first came out. I waited. I got it on sale. I still bought it new at GameStop, but
It was
GameStop
still
was a great
overpriced.
deal. It was. I mean, I ended up paying like I think $26 for it. But I got to be honest with you, it's listen. If you really break down the game, like I got bored of the repetition. I mean, it was just
Yes.
melee looter shooter or melee looter is just it doesn't really cut it. I don't think you're going to see a
Doesn't
whole
have
lot
the
of people
same-
coming. Right? I don't think you're I don't think you're going to see a lot more people coming out with that type of genre. I think that genre hit a brick wall. So, is what it is. It's unfortunate. I mean, they tried something new, right? Because if they were like, "Hey, we got something new for you guys, a looter
Yeah.
shooter, huh?"
Yeah,
What do you
I would.
say?
I mean, it's
You know,
a
it's-
different take on the looter. I would never begrudge a developer for trying
Right?
a
Tried
different,
something, it didn't work.
because that's the only way you're going to be able to make yourself unique and be different from other people in the same genre, is to make it a little bit unique. I mean, honestly, we get tired of seeing the same kind of games all the time. Like, why would you want an exact replica of something else? Like, it's things got to be a little different every now and then, but it's just sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it turns out the game you were making that should have stayed in the drafts. It should have never
missed out.
That should have been an idea at the planning table, and it should have been thrown on the floor and moved on to something else. But it is what it is, and people find out like, hey, don't do that. That didn't work. You'll be like Disintegration. And that studio that no longer exists. V1 Interactive.
That one looked promising, man. Remember how we first saw that? We're like, ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
Someone did a video. I was like, that came out?
Bro, look, I am now leery of any game that's being marketed where they keep talking about is who made the game and where they used to work at. And I'm like, literally, that's like your whole marketing phrase is about how this guy used to draw Master Chief. And I'm like, what does that have to do with this game?
I was used to draw Master Chief.
Meanwhile, Andre, who just got hired, he was working at Dairy Queen, but is the dopest programmer in the whole place.
Right.
But everybody's looking at the pedigree of everybody else. It's like, that don't mean anything. Come on. But you guys remember when we thought like Outriders was like the one to bring home to like mom and dad?
Oh man.
And then they started, then you like, this could be the one. Mom and dad, this could be the one.
They did all that talk. Hey, look, man, no live service stuff. No, we not that kind of looter.
Right.
But we gonna act like we that kind of looter because we going to keep nerfing everything on a weekly basis. Like, what are you doing?
Yep, and we gonna leave all your clothes and lose them at the airport.
That's what I was gonna say. For tell you, like you brought them home to the family, then they got naked at the picnic. You're like, oh Lord,
got buy you clothes.
Oh my God! Let me grab this super chat from Lady Foxfire with the $2 super chat.
Hey, Lady
the amazing Lady Foxfire. Thank you for that super chat, lady. She says, "Amazing panel and great discussion, guys. Thank you for that super chat, lady. Appreciate it." Did I miss one? No, I didn't miss one. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, so I, again, it's funny you mentioned like the studio hires or the hires that they made. Some of the individuals coming out of these studios, like I didn't immediately gravitate towards our Naughty Dog employees, Ubisoft, Rocksteady. Like I wasn't, my initial thought was, okay, new AAA game, PlayStation Studios. Like I'm excited because of the quality that Sony's PlayStation Studios typically puts out. Right. That's why I'm excited. I didn't even think about their hires. Like I could care less. Right. I just want to see a good game. And I think with Sony Studios, at least, because of their proven track record, the level of, again, they haven't hit it all the time. I mean, we know Order 1886, although some people like that game.
I like that game.
Yeah, that wasn't a great game per se.
Well,
I mean, there was a consensus out there that the game wasn't.
From who?
Oh my God.
That game.
I'm gonna mute you, man.
Yo, there's a lot of exaggeration in regards to the Order 1886. You got people out here saying, "Oh, you could beat it in 5 hours."
Okay.
If you put it on super duper easy, you could beat it in 5 hours. If you actually wanted the challenge, it didn't take you 5 hours. It was more like between 8 and 10. It's a really great story. If you even play it today, the visuals hold up.
Yep.
So I mean, it's
dope weapons
or any of those other games.
Yeah, it's about the same amount of time it take you to beat Ratchet and Clank. So like, a lot of the stuff with that game was overstated, and I don't know why it got treated the way it did. Yeah, the cover shooting was generic, and there was nothing new in it. But I mean, it wasn't poorly done. It wasn't like the shooting was.
The story was very good. The voice acting was outstanding.
Graphically, it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was very good. I got to be honest with you.
The best looking game of its time.
Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't throw. I don't know why you wouldn't throw more money at that, and make a sequel and make that like that is something that was back in the day I was not a fan of it. I ended up playing it and I said, "Wow, all right, this is very good." I didn't expect. Now again, yes, the shooting mechanics were very bland. Let's just put that. Now the weapons, interesting weapons. But the way that they felt when you were shooting them, very bland.
Yeah.
But again, throw more money at it. Get those voice acters back.
Yeah, I thought they had a great foundation to build off of.
Yeah,
and then
what was it? Is that like? Would that be categorized as a steampunk era?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much.
You could say
very
that.
much steampunk. Yeah.
And I dig. I don't know, man. I mean, you go ahead and just look at literature or different pictures. You might say, But like you play it in the way that they actually brought those futuristic weapons into that, like that era of England. What was it, Jack the Ripper or whatever that was? I don't know what that era was.
Yeah,
and that was something.
But Moosh, I mean, conceptually, you had Nikola Tesla making your weapons. I mean, that's a dope concept. It's like it plays off the Knights of the Knights of the Round Table.
Knights of the Round Table, yes.
That's dope.
Yes.
The whole and the funny thing is, I know
lichens and
again when you go to the back and forth again, the salmon swimming upstream doing the same shit. It's like who's got all those quick time events. I'm like, so did
that was
another
mistake.
game that I did.
Having the quick time events in the boss fights was a problem.
Right.
It wasn't that big a deal. But it wasn't. That was a mistake. I think they shouldn't have made. But those are little things that like you give a developer another shot when you see there's a great foundation here, and then on a sequel they can make sure they don't make those kind of mistakes. Okay, no QTEs and boss fights. Let's get it a little bit more variety in there and have a little bit more uniqueness in the combat. But continue on with the great story, the great visuals. Ready at Dawn is a really good developer. give them another shot. And I think that was a mistake on Sony's part for just being we got a 60 Metacritic. Let's get up out of here.
Well, you know,
for what?
And conversely,
Sony's like very picky like that. I think with their level of quality. I think like someone mentioned first-person shooters earlier. I think it was you, right, B? That the studio's working on a first-person shooter.
Well, I don't think they classify whether it's a first person or a third person, but they are working on a shooter.
They're working on a shooter. When's the last time Sony greenlit that? And I'm thinking like Sony would only greenlight a shooter like that if what they saw from that studio really like wowed them, right?
Right.
So go ahead, E-Man. Did we lose E? E.
Oh.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Yeah, he went mute. He must got something going on.
Okay. Yeah, maybe he fell off the chair.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But no, but
go ahead.
I brought up Rise because that's another game where people are like,
I agree.
That's another one that deserved another shot because there's something there that could definitely be built upon, and at the same time, those two games were pitted against each other, for whatever reason. And I'm like, they share similarities. They both had quick time events. Pull those out, build on the combat, build on the story, build on all that other stuff, and you have something there.
Yeah. The combat in Rise was got very tiring and repetitive. But that game was another visual masterpiece, and the story was good. I was really shocked at how good the story was, and that's just like why not build upon that? Like it's not like it was a complete dumpster fire.
Forte, are you sleeping?
No, I'm here. What you talking about?
Oh, T-Rock says sounds like Forte is sleeping.
No.
All right, just checking, man. Just checking. You sure?
You want me to answer that question?
I just got to double check, man.
So Enrique, you haven't played The Order?
I played a little bit of it, but I never finished it. Like I thought the concept was cool.
You're not a gamer, dog.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
Oh, wow. Yo, E, you really are being messy.
He set you up for that one.
Yeah, he did.
No, Enrique, man, you gotta play through The Order, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I may go back.
Man. You got 5
I might go back. Right. I may go back and play, but it's going to be hard because starting, in 48 hours. I mean, NBA 2K22, Tales of Arise. Now I kind of had my eye on what's it called? Oh my God, what the hell's that game now?
One that came out
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. I had my eye on it, and then I just read some of the reviews. I'm like, oh wow! And I hear people say that's a game of the year contender.
Oh man, so they gotta stop with the
what?
Life is Strange ain't winning no game of the year, and y'all.
That is what I'm reading.
What are you doing out here?
Just
saying, it's a game of the year contender now. I'm not saying you saying that, Enrique, but anyone saying Life is Strange is a game of the year.
What if it is
really ignoring how? Look, game of the year is not something that it's not objective at all. There are certain genres that get in and there are certain genres that don't, and Life is Strange is not winning game of the year. It's just there's just no shot of it ever happening.
And shout out to Lady Foxfire, she's a huge fan, so earmuffs, Lady Foxfire. But I don't that entire series I don't get.
I love the first one.
Yeah. I also, just to be fair, I don't like any of the what are those called there? Not the Tales. What are those? Tales from like the Borderlands and all that. I mean, I heard that one was very good.
Oh my God, Tales of the Borderlands.
Borderlands is amazing.
Listen,
that's amazing.
Like, no joke. Like literally 15 minutes into any of those Tales I've tried, and I make the same sounds that Forte is into his microphone. I sound like I'm out cold. Shout out to Forte.
Lord, man.
Forte. He's like, I don't need this shit.
So, see, Forte, what they're trying to tell you is to remove your microphone from your left nostril.
They're telling me to whatever.
Oh, it's funny. No, but look, man. Tales of the Borderlands is amazing, but that is another game that is not getting game of the year. It's not. It just isn't. It's those games don't get it. Like Forza Horizon 5 could end up being the best racing game you've ever played in your life. It won't even get a nomination. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think there's some people in the live chat. Some of them are saying, "Oh, well, Hades won Game of the Year." I think you're referring to like the Game Awards, right?
Yes, definitely the Game Awards.
Okay.
I'm not talking about mom and pop Game Awards.
You're not talking like Game Informers, like
Yeah, they'll choose whichever like some of them will win like the smaller Game Awards. The one that is a huge production gets game announcements and video game consoles revealed at it. That's the Game Award show I'm talking about.
King Thrash is saying Kojima. Okay, we're gonna hold on a sec here. What is he? I'm reading. Okay, I just sent King. Come in here, King Thrash. He's saying he's got some news. Kojima
about Kojima.
I don't know. Is that what he's saying?
He
King,
said something.
Yeah, King. I just sent you a link if you want to come. He says very short but very big. All right. Come into this stream if you can.
Tell the homie Thrash to come on through.
Yeah, get King in here.
Yeah, come in if you got something. Yeah, come in, man. I just DM'd you the link, King. Yeah, no, I think somewhere with the Game Awards, I think there have been smaller titles that have been nominated. I think like Celeste was one. I think that was nominated.
Yeah, it's always like that though. It's like that. There are these tokens. Okay, Nintendo gets a token.
Yeah,
they get here's your nomination, Nintendo, even though it's not going to win. Like WarioWare or something. Every now and then, when they get a game that actually deserves the win, it'll have a shot. But like even if it's a trash year for Nintendo, they'll get one nomination. There's always one indie game that gets nominated.
Splatoon beat Call of Duty that one year.
Right.
Splatoon's actually a good game.
Splatoon is actually really good though.
Splatoon's good.
But I remember people losing it.
Care. You guys are Splatoon's really good.
People lost it.
It is really good.
I don't
Whoa, Slow-mo. Are you slandering? Are you slandering?
Because
have you played it?
Why. It's Nintendo. That's
no,
why
I have not played it. I don't need
to
play it.
Speak on it, sir. You haven't played it.
No, I'm not going to play it.
Well,
but you can't sit there and say
it's something that you don't know.
What?
I'm gonna say it like this. That's
up here being a red team hater.
Splatoon players.
Yes, I am. Until they do better, they get that hate. Go ahead, E.
I'm saying
just ignore them. Don't talk about.
Step into that arena in Splatoon, you get mopped.
You will get mopped, bro. Let me tell you, my son's been playing it. He's like, Dad, I'm getting owned. I was like, what?
Man,
I'm a squid kid.
Yo, man, I'm getting dominated by a super soaker and a rolling pin.
Right? You're not lying.
Rolling pins, man.
Yeah.
Roll your ass right
Absolutely disgusting.
The gameplay is actually pretty good. It's pretty good though.
I don't want to hear the Enrique stop.
I sound so disappointed right now.
I'm so I do want to hear about shooting paint with little cartoon characters. Is so good. Like I just don't care. I don't.
It's all about the gameplay mechanics, sir.
Gameplay mechanics on that trash Nintendo Switch. How many frames per second is it?
We're not gonna slander.
You know what? Yeah,
let's
not do that. Let's not do that. But this is right now. To go back to what I was saying, what we really see with the Game Awards, and to clarify, Keeley's Game Award show is there's always one indie, and there's only, even though there could be like 3 or 4 indies that year that were deserving, that really could deserve, like last year, Ori deserved to be a nominee. But Hades got it. And Hades is also deserving of being a nominee. But that's just the way it is. He's only going to let one indie in there. Sorry. You're not getting a nomination. There's one third-party, narrative-driven, third-person perspective action game that gets a nominee. It ain't going to win. But then there's always when From Software drops something, guarantee From Software is going to get that nod to get a nomination. If Sony drops something, they're getting a nod to get a nomination. If you Xbox, tough luck. That is the way it works. So, like, until things change and show any differently. Oh, and there's one more thing. It used to be maybe it's still the same, but like some of these studios have fallen out of favor. Certain studios always got the nod, no matter how good or bad their game was. Overwatch with Blizzard, guarantee you ain't gonna see Blizzard up there anymore. They don't get any free passes now. Their games better be exceptional if it wants to get nominated. Same thing with Bethesda, because Bethesda got the nod. That Fallout 4 didn't deserve no damn nominations, but it got what it got. It is what it is. So that's how it works. And it's I don't really consider a game of the year like anything other than a popularity contest. It's almost as bad as the Oscars.
All right. So all right. So I think we got a little bit off topic. So we're
My
talking
bad.
about Jaffe. We're talking about Jaffe's tweet. We think that maybe it's the studio that we're just talking about. Whatever it's called, I forgot. I forgot the name now. What the hell's the name?
Fire starters, like no, fire
Fire.
spray.
No,
Fire Spite.
Fire
Yes.
Spite. Yes, Fire
Yeah.
Spite. Thank you. Yeah. So you guys think it's that game? Is they think maybe, or could it be
I don't think it's that game.
SOCOM? B
No, I think it's something bigger than that.
bigger than SOCOM?
When he says like people gonna lose their fucking mind,
I think SOCOM.
I think it's gonna be some wild shit that like.
You think it's something they're bringing back?
Nah,
Like Metal Gear Solid?
I think it's something that people are just like, I can't believe that's gonna be a PlayStation game.
So wait, can I ask a question though? Because I saw two different things. I saw what you're talking about, Jaffe said, but didn't he then come out afterwards and say, "Let me just rephrase what I meant by that," or was this after he did that?
So he made
Yeah.
the tweet and then he did a video because
Right.
like people were kind of confusing it with like the presentation being like something that's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah.
And what he was referring to was the game that he learned about, and the game that he learned about is what he's saying that is gonna make everybody lose their mind. So
he was trying to say, I'm not talking about the entire show. I'm talking about one particular game.
right.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm feeling like whenever that's unveiled or
So,
revealed,
but he's not certain they're going to show that game at the show. He just thinks
Correct.
they will.
right.
he's
Whoever
not-
he was
yeah.
whoever he was talking to brought the game up, and Jaffe didn't know that Sony was working on this game. He was like, "Oh, I didn't know that studio was working on this." So I was like, oh, "Okay." So whatever it is, it's something that's coming out of left field that people aren't going to expect.
Okay. So I think that when you think about that, and I'm just putting B's logic there into what Jaffe was saying too. Like I think it is going to be it doesn't have to be that it's an ancient game, a really old game, but it's going to be a beloved title. I think that they probably have somebody working. And I'll give credit where credit's due. Last week, on Crossfire, Nick, shout out to Nicholas Downey. He writes for the Lords of Gaming.net. And he said it was just his opinion, but it made a lot of sense. And BRAP, you might remember this. He said that he thought that we would hear that Blue Point Games, which, of course, made Demon Souls, and we saw that they have the pedigree to take what a From Software game and recreate it, that they would take the now Bloodborne owned IP by Sony, and that Blue Point Games was two things, making Bloodborne 2 and also was acquired by Sony. They would make the announcement that they were acquired and that they're making that game. And he said, again, this is just his opinion. It was just his opinion. He didn't say that this is happening. He said that's the wow factor. So when B says something like that it's like when you listen to the words that Jaffe was saying, like I couldn't believe that studio was making that title. That's interesting, right? Because those two things, I'm not saying they're the same by no means, but they do marry quite nicely next to each other. So imagine though if Blue Point Games was making Bloodborne 2. That's something that I haven't been able to get out of my head since last Friday when Nick said it on Crossfire. It really was just, I said, it holds water. It holds water. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, everyone has Blue Point Games possibly making the new Metal Gear Solid or the Metal Gear Solid remakes. That may be the case. I don't know. But either way, I think that's interesting. It depends, BRAP. It's hard. It's really tough. I'm interested to hear what Ian Slomo have to say for Forte because I don't know what they think about it. People think it could be SOCOM. I don't think it'll be SOCOM. I think it'll be more of one of the beloved titles from before, whether it be Metal Gear or Bloodborne or something of that nature.
Yeah, the Jaffe hype.
Yeah, go ahead, E.
No, I mean, I don't know what the hell it could be, man. Because the way he's talking, it's just like they're about to mesh two like long-standing PlayStation IP together or something. I don't know, man. What would it be?
I think like Bloodborne 2, what Nick talked about, like that would be something that like people would be like, wow, like because like the fan base has been asking for a 60 FPS patch, right? So imagine if they said, okay, we got Blue Point, Bloodborne 2s, or we got Bloodborne 60 FPS coming, right? That's coming to PS5, PC. And also we got Bloodborne 2, which Blue Point Studios is working on now, right? Like that to me would be huge. Like that would be kind of a holy shit moment, I think, for a lot of PlayStation owners. That's the only thing I think
one
of.
bad mother in the chat said that Drew Murray was on record that Sunset Overdrive was his dream IP, and that's he did. He was lead director on that. He said he went back to Insomniac after the purchase. I do believe. I think what OBM is along the right path. I think
OBM's an insider.
Murray, oh yeah, of course. He's definitely an insider, even though he won't admit it. But I think he's on the right path with this one because Drew Murray definitely left the initiative to go back and do something that he felt more passionate about. But I think it's actually Resistance instead of Sunset Overdrive.
But that's the other game too. So I don't mean to cut you off. That's the other game that could be a holy shit moment too. Resistance 3. You notice that they've been tweeting a lot about Resistance 3,
or Resistance 4.
Before.
Yeah,
we're on PS3.
Right, or a remake of the first Resistance. You know, like that's a possibility. But like, I think it is Resistance. They've been tweeting out about Resistance a lot, and I just kind of feel like that's probably they've been kind of like trying to seed that IP in people's minds again, kind of prepare them for what's coming. And I know we'll see what happens, but I think it's Resistance instead of Sunset Overdrive.
See,
we might get a remaster. They could port that to somebody or have a small team under Insomniac port that to PlayStation and then see how it does on PlayStation because it didn't sell well on Xbox, even though it's an excellent game. And maybe a different community appreciates that game better. So that's always a possibility.
Yeah, and I was just gonna jump on what you're saying. That's a little more with Drew. It definitely could go either way. I was kind of thinking Sunset, but I said either way. Something pulled him from the initiative, and it was something passionate. I know he has a passion for Insomniac, but it's either one of those two. I still kind of think it might be Sunset Overdrive because I know that was like his baby.
Yeah,
and
but he worked on Resistance as well.
Right,
I think he worked on the first two. I think. So.
Right, but I kind of think because the fact they've been teasing Resistance for so long that they probably already had that underway. Now, that doesn't mean he can't come in and oversee it, right? But it's just also like that timing of Microsoft acquiring the rights to Sunset Overdrive, him leaving the initiative. It was all kind of like in that same window.
Yeah, it was a perfect tornado.
Yeah,
to go ahead and return.
But either way, that could go either way.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when I think of an oh shit moment, I think of I don't know, like they're making a Mandalorian game, or you know what I mean, they have the rights to the X-Men, or just something crazy. To me, I think that's the oh shit moment. Resistance coming back, yeah, that's great. Bloodborne being there, yeah, people been asking for that for forever. But when I think of oh shit moment, I think it's something crazy, and I think it's going to be on that type of level.
But what kind of IP returning would be that, or is it a brand new IP that just looks so amazing and does something that you would expect to see from an indie game where it's super unique, but it's got a AAA budget from a prominent studio?
If I'm following what B's saying though, Slow-Mo, to answer the question, I think that I think if it's an oh shit moment, it's got to be something we know that's big, right? So let me just throw something out there that's of course not what it's going to be. But if they were GTA 6, it's exclusive to PlayStation again, which everyone's saying that the opposite for Xbox, whatever. But that's right. B, is that the level of oh shit you're talking about?
Okay, yeah, that would do it. That would definitely be is this really happening kind of moment?
Right. That's a fall out of your chair moment. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wait. Not because I think we're kind of getting into maybe somewhat predictions for the show tomorrow. Which I do want to get to the show more, but again, kind of more exclusives per se, what Jaffe's talking about, right?
Talking about.
Well, I mean, we're already kind of in that. You don't want to just segue there, man.
I mean, yeah, I guess we could segue. Why not, right?
They already there.
They kind of go hand in hand, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let me grab the super chat real quick from Perk, and then we go. Hey, we could just segue to that. Percolator 9,000 to $5 super chat says, "Hello everyone. Did I miss the food analogies? I don't think. Do we have any food analogies?
We did do a lot of Five Guys and French fry talk earlier.
We did, yes, we did do that. Hope you guys have a great rest of the show, Perk. Thank you for that, Perk. Appreciate it, man. So tomorrow, big show. One thing Jaffe did also say is that in the video stream that I think B Money referenced earlier, that PlayStation first party studios will be will be their flying colors at the event. So, and I've heard people say from PlayStation that people are going to be very happy with the show. We've heard, I was listening to Grub and Mike last week. They're like, yeah, you don't have to check your expectations at the door. And I think even Shuei kind of referenced something to that as well on Twitter. So I think, look, it's been a year since they had a big show. So I think they're definitely going to show something big. So go ahead. I think Slimo, or I think it was you, Mooch. I think you were talking about GTA or something.
No, because Slomo was asking on the scale of what is it like? Because B was putting it's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Here we're going back to Jaffe, right? So Jaffe made his comment, and then we're just building off of it. We're saying, okay, if it's this, and we're breaking down the words, and B made a point to say, he made a very good point. He's like, I'm not saying Bloodborne 2 wouldn't get a lot of cheers. I'm not saying that Metal Gear Solid being remade wouldn't get a lot of cheers, but he said, when I hear the words blockbuster, holy shit moment, then it reverts more to a larger, we have to go one step higher, because Bloodborne 2, I don't think would knock the majority of people out of their chair. I don't even know if Jaffe would think that Bloodborne 2, if Bloodborne's even his jam. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. Maybe it was such a high tier game. I will say this much. This may diffuse it a bit, but Slomo, I believe it was Slomo who just said a second ago about, was it Slomo or E that said about Sunset Overdrive? If Insomniac was to happen to take the stage, like I said, take over the digital conference, and they were making a Sunset Overdrive 2 exclusively, of course, for PlayStation, you guys might disagree with me, because you may say I didn't care for the game. That's fine. I like Sunset Overdrive. If they made a second one for PlayStation, that's an oh shit moment. Maybe not in regards of GTA 6 kind of level oh shit, but that is in that sense, that magnitude, because in essence it was a game that was only on Microsoft. It comes back to PlayStation. PlayStation then owns it, gets probably a remastered version on PS5, and then has a sequel. That's a big kind of like, I don't want to say slap in the face, but that's a big momentum swing. Well, Mooch, game, and a lot of fans going over to PlayStation, possibly for that title.
Mooch, I think that's from a marketing perspective, I think you're right. That's kind of a punch in the gut to the competition. It's a bit, It's like, it rallies the fan base. Hey, you know what? And you're going to see it, right? Like we see it all the time on Twitter. Oh, we got Sunset, but it's going to create that buzz, right? It's going to create a lot of mind shares, my man OBM likes to say, on the PlayStation brand, But I would say that I do think, personally, my opinion, I think Bloodborne 2 would be the bigger announcement, I think, because that game was so revered and was up for like Game of the Year nominations, and I think it's the one game in the PlayStation community that many people want. Well, they want that 60 FPS patch. They want a sequel. From's been very, I don't think From's got other projects they're working on. So I don't think From would go
From
back
came out
on
and
it.
Said they're not working on Bloodborne.
Yeah, that's why I think Blue Point, like what Nick brought up, how he said like maybe for Blue Point, but again,
that is an oh shit moment though for a particular group of gamers, right? Where when you talk about, again, I'm guys, please keep in mind, I am not saying GTA 6 is PlayStation exclusive. It's not. I'm trying to say, but when you think of that grand scale. That's what I think. B, I don't want to speak for you, but B, what are you thinking when you hear that, B? Are you thinking that same kind of level? Is there another game that matches that's not Grand Theft Auto, so we can give another example?
Yeah, like some to that level. Like, like I said, like if they had, exclusive Star Wars game, or I mean, anything of that caliber, where it's like something that, kind of hit from left field, and it's like, oh shit. I can't believe that they have that exclusive. That is what I expect. You know what I mean? Like Bloodborne is cool, Sunset Overdrive is cool, Resistance, all that is cool. But that's only going to hit like a certain segment of players. And the way that Jaffe was saying it made it seem like everybody would be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think it would have to be like a higher caliber game.
I think it'd even have to be a higher caliber game than Final Fantasy.
Yeah, right. B, it's funny, man. When you make these predictions, man, you always come back and be like, and you always say, "See what I told you all last week." Something tells me B.
That's
you might be
because
right
B
about this, man.
also is an insider that be faking like he don't know anything, and he be like, guys, even though he's talking about something he actually heard, guys, this is what I think might happen, and you'd be like, where did he come? Where did he get that from? Why do you think that's the case? And it's like, he told you guys it was going to happen. That's because you knew,
because he knew.
You knew it was going to happen.
I don't know nothing, man. I don't know nothing.
Mark of the insider.
You have to say that so that to protect your sources.
Right.
That's right, man. I don't know nobody. I don't know nothing.
Nice.
Meanwhile, if you've been following B Money, you know that he was on a podcast previously, Tick, where they interviewed a lot of industry people, made a lot of connections. So, yeah, but no, B, I think it's a great point, man. Like, it would probably have to be something big. And, like, imagine if it was like a Marvel game. I think Sam Walton in the live chat mentioned that. Like, it was like a Marvel game or a Star Wars game that was exclusive that they showed a trailer that really blew people away.
Could you imagine if they said they had another Marvel game that was exclusive?
Yeah. I mean, wow, right?
Right.
Well, but what would that be, though? Like, because Spider-Man's obviously the biggest, right? Like, what other Marvel character franchise could they bring into the fold that would have that same impact as Spider-Man?
I don't know. I don't know if anything is going to be as big as
X-Men,
but X-Men would be right there for me. Like, anybody, any studio who announces like the next X-Men game, like
exactly,
I'm losing my shit.
It's day one cop. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, I don't care who's making it. I'm there day one.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting. Let me grab the super chat real quick, gentlemen. Seidu.com with the $2.99 super chat says King Thrash Theory, Kojima Productions is PlayStation Studio. I don't know what happened to King Thrash. I thought he was gonna hop in, but
that would be very interesting.
It would,
especially since Kojima's supposed to be making a Microsoft game.
Yeah, that would be interesting, right? Yeah, that would be weird.
What if he? Okay, let's follow along the lines with that theory. What if he entered into a contract? Because it's supposed to be, I think it was Jeff Grubb that said there is a letter of intent out for an exclusive game with Kojima for
an
Xbox.
Cloud game too, right? It was gonna be a cloud-based game.
Yeah. So you using some like extensively like cloud, in order to make the game happen. What if that deal happened before the Sony went on ahead to acquire Kojima Productions? So it becomes a situation almost kind of like MLB, where there is a game that is going to be officially made by PlayStation Studios, or a developer that's under PlayStation Studios, but it's going to show up on Xbox. So, I mean, that could potentially be two different things happening all at once,
Yeah,
I agree. That's I mean, it's at least it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched King's video yet. I will after the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out, man. Because he says he kind of cracked the code. I don't know what he's talking about, but I have to check it out. All right, so So I think we'll see God of War. Right? I think would everyone agree with that? We'll see something God of War related.
I would think so.
Yes, I expect that to happen.
I would think so.
And are we going to see? Oh, I gotta get this super chat. Sir X-Man, the $2 super chat says, "How about a new leisure suit, Larry?" That's great. That laugh so evil, Slow-mo.
It is sinister.
Yeah. All right. So, God of War. Do you think we'll see gameplay footage of that, or just like first CGI? What do you guys think?
Of God of War?
Yeah, God of War. Yeah,
I think I think you're going to see some gameplay. I mean, this was a game that was touted to come at the end of this year. We all knew that was bullshit, and then they pushed it to 2022, which is fine. And if they were touting 2021 even remotely, they're going to show this game. They're going to show at least some level design, an actual gameplay of this game will be shown. I think that's a no-brainer, and I think that hurts them if they don't. Everyone's almost banking on that at this point. And Corey Balrog's been pretty active on Twitter as of late in a very facetious way and having fun with things. So I think that's a definite.
To be honest, I don't think Corey is leading this game.
I don't think he is either.
He may not,
I think
but I mean, he's definitely different. That's still his. That's still his baby. You know what I mean? So he's
once he got all the accolades from GTA or God of War 2018, he gave them boys a high five and he said, "Yo, they let me do what I really want to do. So
yeah,
y'all do your thing. I'll check in on y'all, but I got something cooking over here."
Yeah, no, B, you're on the money with that one, no joke. But at the same time, I do think that the fact that Corey has been chiming in, because they were like a bunch of people that are big God of War fans on Twitter were like, writing him, are we going to see anything this and that? And he's like, never heard of it. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I mean, he's basically saying like, no shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to see that. I don't think that. I mean, again, I think that's a major loss. Believe it or not, when you start to say, oh, well, let's have the oh shit conversations, that's one thing. And then if we're going to turn around and say, like, God of War's not going to be there, that's I don't want to use the word, that's an L, but that's not good. You know what I mean? Like, this is a game that was supposed to come out end of this year. Okay, seemingly we all knew it was not, no surprise, got it. But if it's going to come out sometime in, I think I saw people starting to say that they're predicting sometime in April, a release date of April of 2022 for God of War. If that even holds any water, we've got to see some sort of gameplay.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no way the game comes out in April.
You don't think so?
No. If anything, that game comes out around. When did Spider-Man come out? Like around September?
Yeah,
Spider-Man came out in September.
Yeah, I think it comes out around then.
That could be B. I mean,
that's the latest that we've seen recently. A PlayStation game release that wasn't during a console release. Yeah. Because like we had Miles Morales and Demon Souls releases late as it did this year is because of that.
Sony's not afraid to launch. I mean, they launched The Last of Us in June. I mean, so I mean, they're just I don't know. They don't look at the calendar the way that, and believe me, B, when you say that rings true with me, because I think September, October, November, that's the holiday season. Even though you do not want to equate September to the holiday, we say that. But September games will be what, instead of $60, $70, they're going to be $40 or $50 respectively come the holiday, and they're still going to get scooped up. So it's still a holiday purchase. But Sony's not scared to throw. I mean, look at Horizon, February. They're like, you freezing? Are you at home? Can you not step outside? We've got this for you. They don't seem to care, and Nintendo doesn't care either. Nintendo launched a console in March. Yeah. So I mean, they kind of walk to the beat of their own drum.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mooch. I want to grab the super chat because this is a really interesting super chat from Dat Guy Smitty with the $5 super chat. Yeah, thank you, Dat Guy Smitty. $5 super chat says Fire Spite to make a new Matrix game. Source, trust me, bro.
All right, I got you.
That's good.
That's funny. Yeah. All right. So there was another game, God of War. Do we see factions? That's another game that PlayStation fan base.
We need to see factions.
If we don't see factions, it's kind of a problem.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
I agree. Yeah,
that's my oh shit moment. I don't give a damn. I can't wait. I'll be streaming that shit. Slow-mo, you want to get ready, man? I'm telling you right now, I'll be playing that immensely. I'll be streaming that at least twice a week.
No, he's gonna be on Splatoon.
Not like a good
right. yeah. I'm gonna be on Splatoon, playing at 25 frames per second. with my drifting Joy-Cons.
Slow-mo, what if Splatoon comes to PC?
Oh wow!
He's playing it day one.
Then it comes to PC.
He's gonna see that. He's gonna see that 144 ray tracing and all the bells. He's gonna be like, "I'm there day one."
All those colors popping out. Yeah, he's gonna be there.
Smooth 120.
Yep.
Squid Kids.
Yeah. I'm a Squid Kid now.
How are they going to change factions, though? What do you guys think about that? Like, I mean, factions. I listen. I love.
There was a rumor battle royale for Last of Us. You guys remember that?
I don't see that. I don't see that.
Please.
And I love battle royale, but that's not going to fly in that world. I don't think so. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
Slow, meticulous working as a group of four. I'm speaking only from the first one. I don't know what they're going to do in the second one. That's why I'm asking the question.
But
But
you
it's
know how
that.
long it would take to play a battle royale and factions?
Oh yeah, that'd be a minute. Unless you only had like 40 people in the match or 30 people or something like that.
Oh, you couldn't have 100 people. It'd be,
No.
that'd be too long.
I do think it will be a little faster playing Mooch.
I do too. Yeah, I think you know what, E? I hope so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I don't
really
think
do,
I don't think they
that's
can get away
only-
with the speed and movement of the old factions at this
No,
point.
that won't hold. That will not hold in 2021, 2022. Absolutely. Not.
And it's supposed to be standalone, so I expect to see like a lot more modes, a lot more like detail involved in it. It's going to be more fleshed out than what it was before. For certain.
So let me ask you this, because people keep writing me about this on Twitter, and I really don't know how to answer it. They say that see, it's going to be a standalone game, is what my understanding. So how much? I guess it's two questions. How much will the standalone game cost?
You know you're paying for it, right?
Right.
It's
So
like,
I know I'm
you're
paying for it.
this, right?
Absolutely. So it'll be a standalone game. How much will it cost as a standalone? And then the other question I get asked all the time is, Mooch, do you think that they're going to take The Last of Us 2 remastered, or pardon me, The Last of Us 2 director's cut, and include Factions 2 with that purchase?
Oh, they probably will. Those bastards.
Yeah. If they do that,
I don't know.
I don't think
if they do The Last of Us remaster, the remake, or whatever it is with it, yeah, that's going to be a full price game.
Yeah.
Look, man, they're gonna charge y'all full price no matter what.
I was just gonna say Forte. They can charge that full price no matter
It's a great point, Forte. So, Forte, you're saying
great.
May not be 70, it might be 60, but it's gonna be full price.
Well, I think they're going to charge
Right.
70 for the PS5 version.
I think if they remaster a game and put it with it, it will be 70. If it's Factions by itself, you probably could get away with 50, but it might be 60.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
because they see it being 49. And then,
If it's Factions by itself, I don't think they'll. You never know. They could go 60, 70
if it's
bucks.
Factions bought by itself, I can see
if
it
it's-
being $40.
Yeah, I think it'd be 40, 50 bucks if it's Factions by itself.
With
but
that
if it's-
remaster there,
it's gonna be 70.
70 bones.
70 bucks. And guess what?
Yeah.
There will probably be a higher end version with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So y'all missed that Ellie statue the first time around? Let's go.
I got it
Well,
right here.
I got my Ellie statue right here, playing a
I got
guitar.
it right here. I'll tell you this much though.
Now, what if they want to wrap? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mooch.
I will definitely. I mean,
compliments
and
again,
I know a lot of
Forte.
people are going to say
Shout
whatever you
out
want.
to you.
You've been following me for years. You already know. If there's a zombie apocalypse is my favorite genre. I know everyone's tired of zombies. This guy is not.
I'm not.
I
I'm
got
with you,
no
Mooch.
problem
I'm
with
not.
it. I got no problem
you,
with
man.
that. So I mean, directors. I'm buying. Look at. I bought the director's cut for the upgrade for Ghost of Tsushima. I'm buying the director's cut for Death Stranding. I love Death Stranding. I know a lot of people didn't. That's fine. I understand.
I'm with you, Mooch.
Right? I love it. And I will definitely be buying the director's cut of The Last of Us 2. I have everything Last of Us 2. Like right behind me, I have lore books. I have everything. I love, and the fact that HBO is going to come out with a mini series or a show on it, that just blows my mind. I'm taken back by it. So the fact that I think Factions may be a standalone. I don't know if they'll throw it in. I think they'll have the director's cut like independent, or maybe like you say, Forte, if you buy the $70, the $60, or $50 director's cut, then Factions is included in there. Is there a chance that Factions goes free to play? Is there a chance?
I said there's a chance on that if they're looking to roll PC day one.
Yeah, if it's across platform day one, then it could go free to play.
So
Yeah.
it would have to be PC, PS5.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's
I'll
no
buy-
way
I'll buy
PC
that.
players are going to pay.
Oh no,
probably not.
Not happening.
And
Not
then
happening.
at the $70 price point.
No.
Right.
hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it almost makes sense.
It'll
if
be a
you're gonna-
waste of development time for them to do that.
Yeah, and I feel like
I
if you're
almost-
gonna,
I almost don't think it'll go cross play. I don't think it'll be PC. I don't.
I
Not
think it will,
day
Mooch.
one. Not day
I think
one.
it will. I
It-
think
it
Day
will.
one?
Yeah,
I don't know about day one, but I think it'll be there eventually.
Eventually,
For
yes.
certain, yeah.
But I don't think day one. Because they, like you just said it, and B said it, and everybody agreed here. Like they're not going to get that $70, and I think they want that. They want that $70.
Want the 70 bones?
I think they
man?
want that $70. So I think it goes PlayStation 5, and then it branches off based upon success. It branches off into PC 2 years down the road.
I don't know, man. I feel like if you're going to release a shooter these days, you almost have to put it on PC. My opinion,
Yeah,
especially
I don't-
especially multiplayer. Like that's just there's such a big group there, and if you're gonna have microtransactions or some kind of evolving, you're gonna have evolving content, new modes. Like I can't think of a game now that's a shooter that's exclusive to one platform. I could be wrong. I mean, yeah, but you have like Slipspace,
Well,
I guess.
and I know I'm dating
free to
myself here,
play.
but you had SOCOM.
No, you mean Splitgate? Splitgate is
Splitgate. Yeah, I'm sorry, Splitgate.
Crossplay.
That's crossplay.
Oh, it's crossplay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. So,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like. I think most big shooters now are all PC now.
Yeah, but you have. Yeah, I mean, you could go there. I'm just saying, SOCOM held its own on, and I know it's a different era. I completely get that, but that held its own on PlayStation.
I mean, a lot of games held their own on platforms back then, though.
Yeah, well, I
think it's just different now. Like I don't mean to
even as late
as
like, last generation. I mean, Halo and Gears were still, until they did the merger with PC, that they were holding on their own platform and they did just fine. I don't know if you necessarily have to jump into that right now. I think you can do it down the road.
I don't know that Gears community died pretty quick.
Well, it did, but Gears 1, 2, and 3 didn't.
Yeah. But Gears 4 and 5 died real quick.
I think it's more competition nowadays.
There's more competition
for the gamers now.
Yeah,
and there's also more people gaming on PC. I forget why. There's a stat out there about that there's more people playing on PC now. And I think like if this game's to have legs, and I think this is why another reason why Microsoft decided to do Halo Infinite multiplayer on PC as well, is because they want these games to have legs. And I think the way you do that is by launching especially shooters more than anything. You launch these shooters on console and PC. I think that's the one way you get legs and you extend the life of those games. I mean, I think you see it with some of the other big shooters that are out there right now that are doing that.
Well, the question is going to come down to like a mode like Factions or Halo. Is it going to have that Valorant effect when it hits PC? Because that's kind of the minimum bar you have to hit in order to like be sustainable like that. Because for most people, they choose like PC is very fickle. You have people that play a lot of single player stuff over there. They jump between games like slow-mo, but then you have people that are dedicated to their FPS games, and they pretty much stick with one or two, maybe three of them, and they just cycle between those. And that's like Fortnite, Valorant, Steam has CSGO, and those games always are at the very, very top, and they're always talked about because those are the games. Those are like the go-to games, and even Apex Legend is up there now. Valorant was the last one that hit that kind of hit and stuck. Do we think something like Factions or we're talking about Halo because we talk about it all the time. Is Halo going to stick with PC players? Because Master Chief Collection's over there, and I
personally don't think so, Forte. I really don't, and I know that's a big you can't say that, but like I think that you'll see
that's a legit question though.
I think you'll see a huge spike in Halo Infinite multiplayer come December 8th. And I think that, when you get to like around March or April, that number will dwindle. Like you just said, Halo has there's multiplayer Halo right now on PC. And again, I didn't play I wasn't in the tech. I got into I think I'm in the next one, but I didn't get into the first one. And, from what I saw, listen, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it looked like more Halo. I didn't see anything from what I was watching that I was like, holy shit, they did it. It's more Halo, and that's fine. But like even we were saying with Factions, they got to do more.
Yeah,
right.
You gotta do more.
I love Factions. Don't just bring me Factions, 1.2. Okay, I really want Factions 2.0. And with Halo, I think that the community, the PC community is already playing Halo, like you said, Forte, and it's not like massive, right? So I mean, is it? I mean, you guys know the PC. I mean, how many people are playing Halo multiplayer right now?
You don't have any problem getting into matches.
You don't have a problem getting into matches in Splitgate either on PC. I mean, it's
Splitgate's blown up. But
I'm just trying to say
a whole different.
That's the thing we're talking about. That's the thing we're talking about, though. Splitgate hit out the gate. Is it the fact that it's something new that is the reason it's blowing up?
But the game has been out for a while. The game blew up. The game blew up because it went to console.
It went to console, right?
It was on PC.
They
been out
also
for a minute.
revamped it though, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that didn't even know it existed. This is a game that was
Yeah, that's a good
made.
point,
Splitgate
Slomo.
was made by 25 people.
Mhm.
They had no
College
they
students,
literally
right?
didn't put $1 into marketing because they couldn't afford to. So they
So
launched
was
it
it the college students that did this? I thought they were like Stanford students.
The guys that started it, I think one of the founders went to a prestigious Ivy League school, but they didn't really have a lot of experience in game development, and they didn't have enough money to afford to market this game. And without that, I mean, the double-edged sword about PC games is that there's a lot of diamonds in the rough, but they're in the rough because there's a ton of games out there, and it's hard to find the good ones, especially when a indie developer could have a great idea, a great game, but Valve isn't going to push your great game just because it's great. Pay me. You want to be on the front page? You want to be on that graphic that everybody hates when
I know Slow-Mo,
you pull up Steam?
Slow-Mo reached out to the devs. Splitgate needs a slide. It just does.
Yeah,
and Splitgate needs their jumping mechanic is still very 360. It's very 90-degree, up down. I want to have that more smooth, almost that Destiny, because you have that ability to kind of float. But in Destiny, you can feel you can float all around 360 around that space you have, or wherever you are in midair. And with Splitgate, it's kind of a little stiffer. You know what I mean? Those are the two. I think if the devs were ever listening, I'd say those are the two. You work on those two things, and man, listen, we can wait for more maps. We can wait for you'll get there. You'll get there. I'm not going to rush a small team like that. Those are two mechanics you guys can work on and make this game feel. Because listen, when I play, it still says beta, so it's okay. You can still work on it. Do what you got to do. But I think I think those are the things that Splitgate needs. And I think a lot of people in the audience are misunderstanding what me and Forte were saying earlier. It's not. Halo Infinite multiplayer will be around for a very long time. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's not going anywhere. But I'm talking about hot sensation, gotta play it. I mean, I was playing Halo. You guys saw it on Crossfire. I've been playing Halo week in and week out for the past few weeks and just trying to get into it because I know Halo Infinite's coming out. I'm going to play it. And I don't know how to say this. You play I played 6-7 matches every couple of days. I play, and it's not really all that exciting.
No, I'm gonna tell you what the bar is for me, because I'm looking at the top 100 list and we're talking about PC. We on console is going to be fine. It's just I'm talking about, is it going to catch with PC gamers? Like a lot of people think it is. And looking at the top, you got CS:GO at the top, of course, 726,000 people just today alone.
You're not getting CS:GO people to play.
You're not getting right.
They like a technical shooter. They like a shooter that's more trying to be as realistic as possible, I guess. And they're basically mouse and keyboard players. You could do mouse and keyboard in Halo, but Halo, the way it plays, it gives you can do just as good on controller. I've seen it a lot from a lot of PC mouse and keyboard guys. They get all up in arms. Aim assist this, aim assist that. Oh, every time someone with a controller kills them, they're shouting to the moon that it's because of aim assist. No, it's because you suck, dude. That's why you got killed. Right, yeah, But that's the way they may try Halo, but they are CS:GO hardcore forever. So it's just you're never going to get those guys off of that.
Yeah, and then you got Apex 250. Now this is the one that I compare it closely to because it's a game that I love to death, and you pay for it on PC, and that's Destiny 2. And that game is, as much as people get that game the crap, it's number 4 on Steam at 121,000 people max that played it today. Right now, it's 108,000 people playing it. Now, like I said, I know I know Halo's going to do good on console, but right now, Halo Master Chief Collection is sitting at 9,000 people. Splitgate is sitting at 22,000 people, and we're talking about how that's blowing up for today.
Well, that's what I was trying to say to you, Forte. The number will jump when it comes out. Yeah, it'll last for months.
It's just about what the long-term thing is going to be for the game. Ultimately,
Halo may sit down in the mid. I'm talking 4 or 5 months down the road, may sit in that 25,000 to 30,000 range. A lot of people would say that's very good. Okay. then I'm not going to argue with that. I don't know.
To me, I feel like that's not enough. Not if you
that's my original sentiment. Yeah.
Not if you put it up against game. Not if you look. There is like I said, there is a game out there that was based off of this game, and they took it to another level when they reinvented the game and Bungie split off from them, and the game's not free to play. It's free to an extent where you can play starting areas of the game, but ultimately, if you want to play deep into the game, like a lot of people are doing, you're paying for that. And that game has 121,000 people playing it daily on PC, not even on console. So I'm looking at Halo, a free-to-play version of the multiplayer. That number, it should dwarf that number. If people are as excited about Halo,
it probably will.
It needs to dwarf
at
that
launch.
Number.
It probably will.
But will it sustain that number?
Though, yeah, exactly. Like in February of 2022, is it still going to be the same number or more? You know, is it going to grow?
And I hope it does.
If you look at games like Apex Legends had a great start. But you look at the amount of people that play it now, and it's like 2 or 3 times the amount of people that were playing it at launch. So it's like, how do you grow from there? And I don't think that them not having traditional progression levels for multiplayer games is going to benefit it. I think that's going to be a big problem at launch. They're saying, oh, well, you know, we'll have that later, because they said when they said about adopting that it's not going to be. The only way to progress is through the battle pass and challenges at launch. But that's when people are going to be trying your game.
Yeah.
And if people are like, you know, not as in tune as we are into this kind of stuff, and they're just like, man, you know, I was playing, you know, Halo Infinite, it was all right, you know, but I'm just looking at like I want to get this armor, and I'm still at level 4. Well, I gotta be at level 7 to get that armor, and they're, you know, like that's when people who get frustrated, they can very easily go back to what doesn't frustrate them, which is the other multiplayer game they play.
Right.
Yeah, let me grab these.
Go ahead.
Grab the super chat real quick. I would grab the super chat real quick because I don't want to forget it. Johnny says $2 super chat. Thank you, John. Says, what about putting factions on PlayStation Plus? I don't think they'll do it because
hell no, they want money.
They want that money up front.
They already proved that they want money, and I want to say, so One Bad Mother says that Destiny wasn't that at launch. Don't estimate the platform with a shit ton of money behind it. And you know, and the thing is, I absolutely agree with that. Like I said, Destiny was not what Destiny is today. Actually, it was bigger on day one because of just the pedigree of Bungie's name being behind it, and it lost a lot of favor over the course of years, but it sustained a player base that most people would kill to have. And the thing that I'm looking at with Halo being free to play for the multiplayer, and let's be for real, Microsoft made it. They put their games on PC because their games were selling great on console. If they had games selling like they should have been selling on console, would they have really made that decision to put their games on PC? That's a discussion for another day. Who really knows? Phil Spencer probably would have still had the same thought process and plan in place, even if they were selling just to get more money for the company in general. But as of right now, I just look at Halo as this game that a lot of people know about, but is it going to be enough for people on PC to truly adopt? I think the console numbers are going to be there. The console numbers are going to carry. I think it's going to be more successful on console than it is on PC. Now, that all depends on what they do with it. It's just like I said, the progression is kind of wonky. I think PC gamers aren't going to really be vibing with that because a lot of them are down on the season pass route. We really don't know how the season pass is going to really route itself on Halo Infinite yet. So all this stuff is just up to speculation. I was just thinking about it, and I just posed the question to the panel and stuff, because a lot of people look at Halo as like this mega game, which it definitely is. But do PC gamers look at it the same way? I always looked at Halo as like PC gamers wanted to play Halo 10 years ago on PC when it was super hot. But right now, there's so much competition out there, and it's so much time being invested in a bunch of different games. Are they going to just pick it up and play it and drop it because it's not enough of what they want? Or are they going to drop it and say, I'll come back and play it with there's a lot more stuff in there, a lot like how Sea of Thieves is. Maybe Halo has that Sea of Thieves thing where it picks up at a later date once more and more stuff comes out to it. I just don't know what it's going to look like over the first 6 to 7 months of the game being out.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I mean, I know like OBM brought up a great point. Like you're saying, don't underestimate a platform that's got a lot of money behind it.
Well, the game's got to perform, though.
But the game's got to perform.
It's got to perform on its own.
And they got to make content that's appealing. Like as trivial as that XP thing may sound to some people, like it's kind of
not
like,
trivial to people who play multiplayer games.
Yeah, I was just about to say
day.
that. Like I was about to say, like for me, that's a big turnoff. Like and I know people. I've had people tell me, "Well, you don't know what the challenges are." Why do I don't need to know what the challenges are. What I do know is that I can't get XP.
Yeah, exactly. The challenges could be play 4 games and you get some experience. But when a player who's just giving Halo Infinite a shot, plays a match, gets, let's say he's they probably going to do this anyway, where the bots are going to be intermingled in with other new players. That's how you kind of like gradually get people in. You don't want your brand new players playing against people like Forte. Like you don't want that because they're gonna get their heads smacked and they're gonna get demoralized and they're gonna I'm not playing this game no more. This game sucks. That's what people say when they got smashed, right? So they're gonna have a collection of other newer players who could be some guys that just like are really good, but they're just starting to play the game, and bots. And now let's say this new player who's new to Halo had a great game. He had 24 kills, and he's like, "Man, I was the top on my team. Where my experience at? Oh, you got none.
You got,
or maybe you did because maybe you did one. You got like 5 headshots, so you got one of the challenges. But if they don't see that progression going up, they're like, man, I play Apex. I have a great match like this. I'm going up a couple levels.
Right?
Right, and they don't see that, and they're just like, It doesn't matter that it's coming later after launch. It doesn't matter if he plays 4 more games. He's going to get a good chunk of challenge, experience towards his battle pass. It doesn't matter.
Real quick,
he's not paying attention to any of that extra stuff. He's just going to drop the game.
Yeah, that's a great point, Slomo. OBM says 10 million people play. OBM's coming for your knees, everyone. 10 million people played Master Chief Collection on PC, and it's an old FT, it's an old not free to play game. I'm taking all bets and knees.
I'm not. The thing is, OBM. I'm not. See, this is the thing. I'm not stupid. I wouldn't make a bet on this because Halo is such a huge IP. No one really knows what's going to happen. No one knew Valorant was going to be what Valorant ended up being until people got a chance to play it, went through a couple of the betas and test runs of it, and then it stuck for people. Same thing, Apex Legends. They didn't know it was going to be as big as it ended up being. It was just something that they dropped and released, and it just blew up. It just comes down to what is going to stick and what content creators. Are you going to have a lot of these big content creators dropping games that they know they're super successful in? Are you going to get Dr. Disrespect to stop playing games like Warzone? Is he going to stop playing that? Are you going to get people like a lot of other people that play Fortnite? You're going to get them to stop playing that game, even knowing that their livelihood is kind of based inside of that game. Is Ali A going to jump off of Fortnite finally and stop making videos on that and make game videos on Fortnite? Is Ninja going to be relevant enough to actually garner a lot of support and actually people that's going to watch his streams while he plays Halo? You got to remember, it's not just the game that does it, it's the support that the game gets from the people that actually stream and watch it. They probably have a more profound outlook and look on what the game is going to do more than what Microsoft is going to do. They're going to market the heck out of this game. This game is going to be shown everywhere. You're going to see Halo 3 levels of support from Microsoft when it comes to supporting and talking about this game. The question is going to come down to, is it going to stick past the first 3 months? I know it's going to stick on console, and that's why I'm not going to bet any knees on this, because Halo is too big to fail. But is it going to be big enough for people that are staked in their console games and their PC games to move off of them.
Look, it will at least have the number of people who are playing Master Chief Collection. It will at least have those people,
which is 10,000 people.
Yeah, I think this will cannibalize Master Chief Collection.
Oh, it's going to kill that game
because I think the game plays close enough to old school Halo, but just with some updates with like sprinting and a little bit more modern on the gunplay side of things. That it's a good balance between old school Halo and more current, more modern shooters. So you're going to get those players coming in. The real question is that are you going to get back the Halo, the old school Halo players who used to play Halo but don't play it anymore because they play other shooters now? Are you going to keep those guys, or are you going to keep the newer generation gamers who, as far as they know, Halo is just a relic? It's a game that they heard about before, but they never actually played it. They don't get what we get from Halo. They don't have that nostalgia of waiting in line at a GameStop to get the Halo 2, steel case. They don't have that. So for them, Halo is just some old shooter game that people like. It could be Pong as far as they're concerned, right?
Yeah.
So they it's coming back. Let me try it. If it doesn't do what they like, what they appreciate from shooters, then they're going to try it for a while and move on. Again, what it really comes down to is not what Microsoft is going to brag about in late December. We had X amount of people play Halo. We had X amount of people do headshots. We had X amount of people do XYZ. All that's great and all. What's really going to be important is that in May of 2022, are they still bragging about how many people are playing the game?
Man, one bad mother really wants to get in here so he can save the day.
He says no, he's
nothing to save though. We're not down.
That's what I think. People think we're down it.
I think for one, OBM is a huge Halo fan. So
I know he is.
I think he makes up some great points, and not a knock against OBM, but it's like he's a huge Halo fan. So I take sometimes some of the things he say with a grain of salt because he's not. He is like if
he says I am a Halo fanboy.
Yeah, he is a Halo fanboy. So
he runs a podcast that's called "You Had Me at Halo."
Yeah,
clearly,
he will see no wrong in Halo. Like he saw Craig, and he's probably like, the Craig looks great,
Yeah, even though he has no hair.
When it comes down to it, just being fair here. Look at natural progression of games, right? So I played PUBG, really enjoyed PUBG. You guys know I like Battle Royale, right? But for me, and I know you guys may be tired of Warzone because now it's 3 years old, or 4 years old, whatever it is. But my point being is like Warzone did the natural progression to do what are you going to give me? What have you done for me lately? What are you going to give me more than to pull me away from PUBG? And Warzone did that for me, and I'm content. Halo, and I say this with the utmost amount of respect for it because I'll be playing it, but Halo hasn't evolved very much in the multiplayer space over the years. And don't give me, they added sprint, or they added you can not what do you call it there? You can kind of, what do they call it? What's the technical term? Slow-mo. We were talking about this on my show a couple of weeks ago. Like you could pull up, or you can kind of grab the ledge. Mantling. Thank you.
Yeah.
So mantling and sprint.
But mantling, all that stuff was in Halo Guardians. What I think what it really comes down to is that Halo Guardians feels good, but it didn't feel like a Bungie Halo. And this feels probably the best gunplay that 343 has done. I could say that for certainty.
The gunplay is advanced, but it just seems like that the few maps, or the map that I saw that you guys were playing, and I watched. Again, I didn't
probably live fire,
and it was kind of like I'm like okay, so it looks like another similar map, and I understand it's smoother, it's more buttery smooth. The gunplay's better. Everyone said that across the board. I totally buy into that. And by the way, awesome, absolutely awesome. But at the end of the day, do you want, here I am, I'm playing, and again, this is a me problem. I'm playing Warzone now for, 2 years straight, right? And I love it. And I'm like, is Halo going to pull me away from not just Warzone, but what is it going to pull me away from factions? Is it going to pull me away? What is it doing different that Halo 5 and, Halo 4 and Halo Master Chief Collection? What is it doing that's different? And I'll be honest with you, you can go ahead and say, but I highly doubt that you guys really mean it when you're like, well, it's the best gunplay I've ever felt. It's definitely going to be the game that I play. It's my multiplayer game of next year. I don't see it. You'll definitely play when friends want to play. You'll definitely jump in and play the first month or two, and then I think you're just going to go to it the same way you go back to Halo 5 Guardians now multiplayer. And Halo 5 multiplayer was phenomenal, right? Everyone across the board said it was one of the best multiplayers, period, for Halo. So what I'm saying to you is, it's just there's nothing changed. There's nothing. It's the same thing. And for me personally, I'm like, we went from PUBG to Warzone, right? You're going. We were just very harsh. B was with me. Factions 2.0 better not be like a clone of Factions 1.2, okay? Don't give me 1.0 again with a different map. Sorry, okay? With one other thing I can actually, craft. Sorry, not going to cut it. Yeah, what's his name? Viscery, the world says Halo isn't for casuals like you. Yeah, I'll see you in Warzone, buddy.
Come see me, sir.
It's like, stop it. Just stop with that nonsense. Like, that's ridiculous talk. I mean, if you like Halo, you like Halo. I'm just trying to say to you, Halo's going to be around. Forte just said it. He showed the numbers. So Master Chief's collection sitting at what? You said 9,000 people right now? Halo Infinite's probably after 5-6 months going to be sitting, I think, probably between 25 and 35,000 people. Is that bad? It's not bad. But is it great?
Is that the Steam tracker, Forte? You saw that?
Forte? I don't know where Forte was looking.
He fell asleep.
I'm just using
no. I muted myself. It's a Steam tracker. Yeah.
So that's he said 9,000.
Hey guys, I got a drop, guys.
Yeah,
all right, E. Have a great night, buddy.
9,500 peak today
for Steam.
For Steam,
which that's just Steam. That's not.
That's what I'm saying. Just Steam. It doesn't count Game Pass.
That's not counting the people who are playing it through Microsoft Store / Game Pass on PC, or the people who are playing it on Xbox. But yeah, 9,000 on Steam isn't a lot. And you said it was like Splitgate is like 22K. 22K
peak.
That's actually significantly down from where it was when we were talking about this on DPS a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
and it was at like on Steam alone, it was at 50K.
Yep.
And on consoles, it was at like I think another 50K, because I think they couldn't go beyond like 110K combined because their servers couldn't handle it. So maybe people with Splitgate, they finally got to play the game. They were like, all right, it's cool, but I'll go back to playing something else. And so now that the wave is kind of passed. Now they're kind of settling at what their actual player count might be. Why is there
172,000 people playing Source SDK based 2003 multiplayer? What is this?
See, these are all the people on PC that both Sony and Microsoft think they're getting. Like they see that PC combined has just as much as total players as consoles combined.
Go a game called Cookie Clicker.
That's what these guys. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, these guys are playing. It's like 100,000.
Yeah,
there's like nearly 1 million people playing CS:GO. They're not leaving that to play your game.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think
League of Legends a while.
I think it's going to be. I think Halo is going to do fine. I think it's just going to capture. I think it's just going to capture the people that are interested in Halo that have been like the OBMs, like they're gonna. It's
better
like
caveat that, bro.
What?
Caveat that, bro, because anything can happen.
I mean, yeah. They could release like
it could. Best. I'm trying to tell you, it could literally be the next best thing that hit PC.
It could be the next. It could be the next Valorant, for all I know. I mean, but I don't think it's going to be. Is my point. I think it's going to do fine, but I think there's just going to be. I think the issue is going to be: is it going to have enough compelling multiplayer content to steal people away from other games that offer free to play, that have that give you XP, for completing matches, that have a dynamic gameplay loop like Warzone. Mooch mentioned Warzone. Part of the thing with Warzone and PUBG and Fortnite is that it's just this dynamic like game, like
especially Fortnite.
They each round or match, whatever the case is, and Mooch, you and I have played a lot of Warzone together. It's never the same. It is so unpredictable, right, Mooch? I mean,
absolutely. And I'm glad you kind of came to me. Shout out to RRD. Me and him were just going back and forth in the chat, and I want to say to RRD, like he said, maybe I misheard you. I'm not comparing factions to Halo at all. I was using an analogy. I was just trying to say that what I'm asking for in Halo is what I'm asking for in a multiple of different shooters that I enjoy. I ask for progression. I ask for something more. I understand that Gears will always be Gears and Halo will always be Halo and factions will always be factions at its root, right? Absolutely. But when I'm going to go ahead and give more money to something or start to take my time and play a game that I want to play, the new in line of series of that game better offer something else that the old one didn't, besides a bit of smoother gunplay. Like, I need something more than that, like a mode that's very interesting. Or
I mean that's a possibility.
That's
like
fine.
For Guardians, they added new
they
things.
I think they called it Warzone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And Warzone's fun. It is fun.
It's
like a PvE VP kind of mode, which is around the time that came out, that was starting to get popular. So
you know what I'm saying?
I do expect them to have something new.
Yeah, give us something like that.
They
That's
just haven't
all
shown
I'm saying.
it yet.
And listen, guys, everyone that's a big Halo fan in the chat, here's what I'm saying too. Like, I would love, and I know you guys may not, and that's fine, but Halo, not battle royale like Warzone and Fortnite and PUBG and Apex. No, actually, Apex did their own thing with battle royale, so give them that credit. Like, take Halo, take Battle Royale, and let the geniuses at 343 make a Battle Royale that's unique to Halo, that works for Halo. Not Warzone Halo, but just works for Halo. And I'm interested in that. Like, so I think that would be amazing. I understand they're not going to do it. That's fine. But maybe do some sort of rendition off of that and put the 343 mark on something unique like that gets players to come back to Halo and stay there, that longevity. And I don't know, BRAP, if that kind of answers your question, but you were saying with Warzone, you were saying you asked the question, and I apologize.
No,
kind of went off on a rant.
No, that does. I mean, it just, again, I mean, I don't think I think some people are kind of like some of them like, give me an example of modes you like to see in Halo other than BR. And, I mean, like, look, I don't think anyone's saying that, this game's going to be DOA. No one's saying that, but I think just given my history with Halo and how much that market has changed now, and the fact that you have more people playing on PC, you have these free-to-play games, you have influencers that have their intention on these other games, make their livelihood. Like, is this thing going to be able to I guess what we're trying to say here is this thing going to grow outside of the hardcore Halo base?
That's going to be, it's yet to be known, right? I mean, we'd have to see more. Who knows? And we're not going to go down that path, but I'm hoping at the next open beta or whatever they want to call it, open tech preview that they're going to give us. I'm hoping that we get more. We're able to play against friends, not bots, and they open the game up a little bit, show a little bit more. I mean, this game is, here we are. I know it's funny. Everybody was like, Mooch, you got to calm down, dude. It's July, okay? The game's coming out in the holiday. Well, guys, it's not July anymore. Now it's the middle of September almost, and the game's coming out early December. So, I mean, we're not that far. I mean, I would think at this point, you start to show more of the game. And I think that's a fair request. I'm not speaking for myself. I'm hoping I'm speaking for gamers across the board. We'd like to see something. I certainly would. I'm sure you guys would. And hopefully we'll see something within the end of this month or early next month on Halo that's even more promising.
Oh man, 68% of people are playing on 1080p monitors.
Yeah. So no, the other thing,
but those monitors.
Oh, they some high end monitors.
300 hertz.
They do like 240.
There's some high end monitors. You right about that.
and even though they may only have a 1080 Ti, they're playing at 1080p at ultra settings, which nobody on console has ever played a game at ultra settings for all graphical settings, all turned to max. You have it. You don't even know what that looks like. Just telling you. And then at like over 200 frames per second, it's a different kind of experience. It's the reason why resolution is not as important on PC as it is on consoles.
Yeah.
OBM saying that launch is targeted at old heads, bigger mode after 2021. Yeah, I can see it. That's what it sounds like. I just
and
think,
I kind of
again,
feel like that's like a little bit of a mistake because
I thank you, Slow-Mo.
at launch
you.
you want to try to get new players.
Yeah.
Old heads are going to be there regardless. They're going to complain.
Anyway. Right.
They're going to complain about stuff that they want not being the way they want it, and they're going to play the game while they're complaining. They're just going to be nagging and playing the game daily. It's not them that you should be appealing to at launch. You should be appealing to the guys that what's Halo? Let me try it out.
Right.
You should have all that
First
new
impression.
stuff that you're
Big.
trying to appeal to people with.
Hey, Slow-Mo, this one's for you, Slow-Mo. Read this one. This one's for you, man.
What? What? I don't see anything.
It's your super chat.
No, look at the screen, man.
With a graphics card, that's $1,100 hard pass. Well, if you want premium gaming, Sumo, then you pay a premium price. Watch how like you may have purchased the LG C1 that cost you about $1,600 to $1,700. You wanted to get that VRR to get the best out of your Xbox Series X, and you wanted to see your games look at its very best, and so you spent premium money for premium performance. Nothing is different in any platform in gaming. Saying, "Oh, you paid X amount of dollars for your graphics card." Well, I paid a third of what you probably paid on your TV with my monitor, and I get just as much out of it or more. So we all pay what we feel like is relevant for us to pay. What you feel is too much, maybe just good or just fine for someone else.
I also think people just don't understand until they see it. It was like the number one thing I kept saying before these new consoles came out is people are going to be shocked at 60 frames per second. They're going to be, I say, you are about to graduate to a whole nother tier of gaming because all you've been used to for the most part is 30 frames per second. And what has happened over the course of this beginning of this generation? Oh man, I can't believe I was playing at 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second or bust. It's crazy. And guess what? There's another tier to that. 120 plus. There's another tier to that. But guess what? That's the thing, like Slomo just said, PC has an ever scaling brochure from you to shop from. That you can do whatever you want on that console, but guess what? You're gonna pay for it. You can buy the basic version of a car, but if you want to soup it up and make it faster than any other production car out there, you can spend the money to do it. It's all up to you. Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo just happen to give you a consumer way of basically just saying, I just want this, and it's going to give me that. And if that's all you want, that's all you want. And there's nothing wrong with that because 60 frames per second is the reason I came back and started playing on Xbox way more than I was, because I was playing on PC predominantly for like the last year and a half before those consoles came out, because it's just unbearable to go back between 60 and 30 or 120 and 30. You just can't do it. So there's levels to all of this. It doesn't mean that your experience isn't as good as somebody else's, because guess what? For over 2 decades, 30 frames per second was acceptable to most people. And I'm not here to tell you that was wrong, because if you enjoyed it, that means you got your money's worth out of it. Me personally, for me, I needed more than that. And that's why I will always scale to the higher version of anything that comes out. When they come out with these new systems, I'll be right there in line to get whatever version that's going to give me the better experience, because it's all about experience in the end.
Yeah, a point there. Forte. Look, it's 11:30.
Yeah,
have to wrap up the show. I got to get to bed, go to work in the morning. Although I don't have to sit in traffic, I work from home. But still, I got to get up early.
Man, be doing all his work in his underwear at home.
Yeah. What is Erodimus talking about here? Slow-mo. If I upgrade my graphics card, do they charge more for those games to get RTX 120 for 3D audio as well?
No,
they don't.
Well, if it's control.
Control.
Didn't they give it to you free?
Yeah.
Didn't they give you that for free? Oh yeah,
all that stuff was at launch.
Yeah, you're right. They gave you stuff. I forgot they gave you that for free, bro.
Absolutely.
Oh man, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, but no. First of all, we'll give a big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Appreciate you guys coming through. And
I think it's amazing hearing all the console guys like you're playing on your 34-inch monitor. There are no 34-inch monitors.
I'm talking about somebody's 70-inch OLED at 60 frames per second.
You're 60 hertz, Vaseline looking every time something moves. It looks like they walking in water. 75-inch OLED. Get out of here.
With that 15 millisecond input lag.
Exactly. Input lag in the hundreds. You talking about?
Not you out here. Oh no, he said he has a 175-inch QLED at 120 hertz, sir.
Okay. How much you pay for that? See, here we go. Here fell right into the trap. You fell into my trap. God, you guys are like gnats falling into my spider's web, man.
Yeah, how much that QLED cost? But then they'll tell you, oh, well, I didn't buy my TV only to watch to play video games.
I could do more on my monitor than play video games. Big freaking whoop means nothing.
Stop it, slow-mo.
I mean, I can watch YouTube videos. Like
beating them over the head with the truth.
Stop it, slow-mo.
I watch movies on my OLED. I watch movies on my monitor while I'm working.
Listen, man, we need these people to show up at DPS tomorrow, man. Don't make them.
You're right.
Oh yeah.
My bad.
On that note,
you guys are absolutely right. Yeah. Absolutely right. Sure.
Let's go ahead. And wrap up the show. Mooch.
Yes,
sir. Always a pleasure, man.
Great
having you on.
Absolutely.
It's great.
It's outstanding. What a great show, buddy. Outstanding. Honestly, I can't believe it. I really did look down and I saw 11:30 here in New York, and I'm like, my God, 2.5 hours. Wow.
It went fast.
It flew. It absolutely flew. Great show tonight, BRAP. I'll do a shameless plug here. We got, of course, the great PlayStation Showcase tomorrow is going on. We've got an outstanding Crossfire lined up for you, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the Mooch 78. Go over and check it out on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. We've got a bunch of, it'll be a 50-50. The great Xbox Defense Lawyer is back this week, but we do have a lot of PlayStation Nation coming in as well. So it's going to be a lot of discussion of what's going on with this PlayStation Showcase. All the surprises we talked about tonight, we're going to go over them and reveal them for you one by one. So we'll see you Friday night, 7 p.m. And BRAP, thank you. Outstanding panel tonight. Outstanding chat. Thanks for the invite.
No, man, always a pleasure, man. I can't wait to discuss the show on Crossfire Friday, man. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great Crossfire. So
can't wait.
But no, Mooch, always a pleasure having you on, man.
Thank you.
We got my man Slow-Mo Backslap. Yeah. Slow-Mo. Let everyone. So you guys are. I love that DPS is tomorrow. That's an evil laugh, man. DPS is tomorrow after the PlayStation show. I'm looking forward to that show, man. I can't wait to hear what you and Forte have to talk about or your thoughts. PlayStation space.
I'm actually going to go live during the show. I'm going to do a live reaction during the show, in addition to DPS, where we're going to kind of really get into our thoughts of the show, which I fully expect to be amazing. I fully expect it to be amazing tomorrow. I don't temper my expectations. Never, sir.
We might have to pull up, man. Make a BRAP part 2 tomorrow.
Let's do it. Matter of fact, open invitation to everyone on the panel right now. If you guys are available during the show, come on in. Let me know. Join the live stream with me. You guys want to come on DPS tomorrow night? Come on through. We'll have a BRAP part 2. Discuss our feelings and everything. Fresh right after
might have
the show.
To do that because I'm to greatness tomorrow. I tell you, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Greatness is going to be tomorrow. But that sounds like a plan, Slow-Mo.
Yeah, definitely. So come through tomorrow. Great show, great chat. Even though I'm messing with you guys, okay. I'm just like to pick on some of you guys who get into your whole ill PC thoughts. I just like to mess with you guys.
Oh my God.
It's all love anyway. Hope you guys have a great night and take care of yourselves.
Awesome, man. We
got your
my man
PCs. I mean, your expensive TVs.
we got my man. We got my man B Money 101 B who is predicted a Marvel game being shown tomorrow. Well, kind of indirectly predicted it, but I don't know, man. That might be. I'm telling you, I tell people if you're not following B Money, you need to, and if you're not listening to him, you need to because you're usually right.
Yeah, man. I don't know nothing. I don't know nobody. I'm sticking
Lies.
to my story.
Lies. This man got press pass and everything. B Money is lying. He got all the connections. He got Phil Spencer's cell phone number. He got Jim Ryan. He in Jim Ryan's DMs. These are lies, man.
I don't know nobody, man. But we had a great show tonight, man. Great chat tonight. Appreciate everybody coming through the chat. You can find me everywhere. Same name, Be Money 101. Tomorrow is a super exciting day. We got the PlayStation Showcase. PlayStation finally talking. We've kind of waited all year long for them to really show us what they've been working on. So I'm super excited about that. 2K drops tomorrow night. Tales of Arise. Like I'm super excited. Gaming season is upon us. So let's get to it, man. I'll see y'all boys next week.
All right, sounds good. Be Money. And then last but not least, we got my man Gaming Forte. Always a pleasure, sir, man. Always a pleasure. And I look forward to you and Forte, you and Slimo tomorrow night. I think I'll probably be there if you guys are going to do like a open invitation to everyone. I think I'll pop through.
Yeah, right. We don't like it to be too huge. We like to keep it a little smaller. Smaller panels offer more opportunity for people to fully get their thoughts out. Yeah. More intimate conversation. Pause. Right. So but yeah, absolutely. Everybody on the panel, if you can make it, come through. I think that, but especially considering we just had this conversation about what we expect to see at the show, really got into that, and then we actually get the show. Whether you guys can show up live with me or for DPS later on tomorrow night, which will be at 10 p.m. Might be a little too late for some of us. But Forte's got to do inventory, so it is what it is. But yeah, come on through, man.
Yeah, man. And you got to wait for my thoughts on that until DPS. So if any of you guys want to shoot in there and take my spot on the live show, I'll definitely be looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say after it, because I'll be listening to it while I'm at work, making sure people like B Money walk out with their NBA 2K on time tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the plan tomorrow. Oh, and
I gotta pick up mine too, man.
And if you didn't know, if you are happening to buy this game physically and you have it at a GameStop, 9 p.m. tomorrow, whatever 9 p.m. in your area is, Eastern, Pacific, or what's the name? Actually, if it's Pacific, it's 6 o'clock. So make sure you head to your store and get your copy early, because they're releasing it 3 hours before midnight in the East Coast. So that's tomorrow. So that's why we're doing DPS at 10, because I will not be available at 9 o'clock. So it's gonna be fun. Can't wait to see what PlayStation shows tomorrow. I'm just more happy for the PlayStation Nation. They finally get a chance to, PlayStation to blow their minds. And honestly, I'm a PlayStation 5 owner, and I want to be mind blown too. And that's what gaming's all about. So looking forward to tomorrow. And everybody, don't temper your expectations. Expect greatness from one of the best platforms out there.
The best platform out there. Psych. PC's the best platform. Let me stop, man.
You terrible, bro. let these people live and let them have their joy every once in a while.
I got my PC bag because everyone was talking cheaters on PC and all that other nonsense.
They ain't lying about that. It's pretty toxic over there sometimes.
Oh boy. All right. So on that,
everywhere, sir.
There are cheaters everywhere. Yes,
I play on PC too. I know it's cheaters everywhere. You're right.
All right. On that note, we're out. So everyone, enjoy the show tomorrow, the showcase, 4 p.m. Eastern time from Sony, and then check out DPS podcast tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern time, and then check out Crossfire. I'll be on there with Mooch and Forte at 7 p.m. Eastern time Friday.
It'll be a busy weekend.
It's going to be a busy weekend. It's going to be a lot of games coming out. This is a great time to be a gamer. Great time to be a gamer, especially if you're on PC. So on that note, we're out. Everyone have a great rest of the night. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so. And if you're new, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live. We are out. Everyone, thank you again for your time. Really appreciate it. Peace.
Hi, Fun Speculation. Bye, Fun Speculation.
Mav, what's up, bro?
Mav, what's up, Mav? Bye. Clean the towels, Mav.